Conservative Cartel.
Hashtag Me Too. Thanks to the excesses of the hashtag Me Too movement, sexual encounters have morphed into an episode of South Park. In the midst of an otherwise romantic night, gals who might be asked to create a so-called consent video so your understandably petrified partner, and it ain't from being hard, can cover his behind against any future false accusations that you may level against him. Now, a consent video is exactly what it sounds like. A woman telling a camera that she is fully on board with you having sex with her once the record button is turned off. Oh, we used to tape things in college and they weren't consent videos, just saying, but oh, is this where we've come? I mean, is this where we're at as a country?
Hey, it's Brad Staggs with big news. MoJo 50 is coming to you and to your town. It's all part of our way of helping the veterans in this country. The MoJo 50/50 tour is 50 states in 50 days, and we're traveling across the country in a bus. I don't know what could go wrong. If you go to MoJo5050tour.com, you can find all the details, including to tentative stops and how you can be a sponsor. MoJo 50/50 tour, MoJo5050tour.com.
Adjust your mojo now. Thank you.
Check.
The mothership has landed.
Yes.
Thompson.
Present.
Brad Staggs.
I'm here.
The mighty MoJo 50.
Gotta be like, do these pants make me look fat? Or Sharon said that I talk too much, and I told her that she's been conspiring with Sue, and I don't. When you know your, I mean, ladies, I'm sure you have that with your husbands as well, or significant others. No judgment here. But when your spouse is saying something, you're like, oh, they're just so wrong here, but I have to do my duty.
Yep.
And go along with them, even though I know they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's got to be like to work at CNN.
That wouldn't be surprising. That would not be surprising at all.
I mean, because they know, a lot of people at CNN know that the crap that they're reporting is absolutely crap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it's just we have to do it.
It's they keep...
All right, we got some extra audio here playing, Ron. You might want to kill that off there.
Although it might be more interesting than us.
Could be. No, because this is what it's like. You know, you're going, I know this is crap, but I got to keep my job, and I know these people or whatever, but you know it's absolutely crap.
Yes, exactly. But they all seem to jump on the bandwagon. There's no, but well, you know what it is? It's the paycheck.
Yeah, but I mean,
Money.
at some point, though, I mean, Brad, you've been married a bunch of times.
I have bookends.
At some point, you're just like, all right, I'm done with this. I can't. There's got to be people at CNN that are like, I paycheck, this just is not worth it anymore.
I don't know. You don't get paid to be married, so.
That's true, too. Usually it's just the opposite. You're usually paying.
Yeah.
So, as predictable, this morning, the CNN is all anti-Trump, his speech last night, anti-border wall. And so their main focus has been fact-checking his speechifying, which... Oh, that's good. Good.
Yes,
Hold them accountable.
Yes,
fact check it. Absolutely.
I did the same thing, actually, this morning.
Their fact checking leaves quite a bit out.
Yes.
They don't, fact check accurately, which would be nice. And number two, they have never fact checked any other president.
Of course
that way.
not.
They absolutely have not done that.
This is Trump. This is a whole new world.
For example, they will say things like question his statistic. If Trump puts out a statistic, they'll say, that doesn't tell the entire story because there's actually another 43% that he didn't, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Almost like his statistic was taken out of context and they're giving you some more information. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. What about, just off the top of my head, during the Obama administration years, when he would continually say, we have drastically cut the deficit each year.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was absolutely factual.
Right.
What he didn't tell you was the first couple of years he ratcheted up to 3 times what the average George W. Bush deficit was. George W. Bush average deficit about $500 billion a year, $500 billion-ish. Obama's first couple years, 1.5, 1.6 trillion, 3 times as much. So then when he drops it down to 900, 800, 700 billion dollars, we've cut the deficit each year.
And then there was the school lunch money programs where they didn't increase it as much. This is going back decades, but they didn't increase it as much as they had in years past. So they said they're cutting it, which they weren't cutting it. They just weren't increasing it. It's wordplay. It's semantics.
But they don't do it. So again, it's like, do these pants make me look fat? Crap, I have to go along with this.
Yes.
They got it. Now, some of them are happy, I'm sure, to do it. But what good are you doing here, guys?
They think he's the devil. They think they're saving humanity from Satan, and they're going to do anything that they can.
So they would be okay if it were back to George W. Bush level offenses in their eyes? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So even if they think Trump is absolutely the worst, it's different, Doc. You don't understand. Great. Where were you every other year?
Yeah. No, they're totally inconsistent with their criticism of this president and any other president in the history of history.
So this morning, it's fact-checking. Oh, going down every word. Then, of course, telling you how bad the shutdown is.
Yes.
Oh, TSA, going down today, they've listed all the government agencies, including TSA. Do you know how bad it is at TSA right now?
No, how bad?
Well, remember, a couple of days ago, CNN had the story that said how so many are calling in sick to work because they're not getting paid.
Yep.
And then the TSA said, no, it's not really a problem.
Right. Guess what?
They had to come back and say, no, this is a problem.
Yes.
So now they led this morning with a list of government agencies that are being affected and how it's hurting real people.
Okay.
Not just government agencies, but real people are affected, Brad.
Yeah.
Not just federal workers. TSA may, because of the government shutdown, it may have compromised security. The government shutdown, Trump's shutdown, may have compromised security.
What'd they do? Let a gang load of terrorists on a plane?
Compromised security?
Yeah.
That's not incendiary.
No water bottles got through. No water bottles, and there were 3 people who left something in their pocket when they walked through the rapist scan.
That's it. Compromised security right there. And then they went on to say CNN obtained an internal TSA email from the Deputy Federal Security Director overseeing 5 California airports. Now, they didn't publish this email.
Right.
They offered a very few excerpts.
Of course.
And I went through and looked it up, and basically all they're saying is this guy said it was directed to the TSA personnel at the Palm Springs airport.
I've been to the Palm Springs airport. There's about, on any given day, at least this is the way it used to be, on any given day, there's about 15 people there.
Yeah, they serve about a quarter of what LAX does. It's not even close.
So it's grown, but it's not.
No.
Okay.
So the email that he sent, that CNN obtained an internal email. He directed those people to basically do their job and then warned, don't call in sick.
Right.
Or security could be compromised, basically.
Right. Okay.
But because of that, internal email. Notice they didn't actually publish the email.
No, because it was probably pretty boring boilerplate crap that you get at every other job.
Right. Then TSA comes out and says, here's the statistics. On Monday this week, a couple days ago, 4.6% of TSA employees missed a shift.
4.6.
Nationwide. Compare that with 1 year ago, the same day 1 year ago, 3.8%.
Wow. There's a vast, not 0.2%.
0.8%.
Okay.
4.6 versus 3.8.
You did not tell me there would be math involved. I didn't study.
Well, sorry to do this to you then.
No.
Based on the number of TSA employees we have, the number that we're off on Monday is about 2,200.
Okay.
A difference of about 375 additional people missed a shift sometime on Monday. That's nationwide, or about a 3/4 of a person per airport.
Yeah, but what if that 3/4 of a person was the person who was going to apprehend the terrorist yesterday?
It doesn't even represent one additional missed shift on average per airport that TSA serves.
So what travelers noticed was one less person saying, if there's any water in your bottle, you got to drink it before you come through.
Normally, there's 10 people standing around talking. But I couldn't help but notice today there's only 9.25 people standing
I
around.
feel so compromised.
Huh. I wonder if I could smuggle this water bottle through. I wonder if I could take 4 ounces of liquid today.
Just saying that irritates me.
Yeah, you could take 2 ounces, 2.5 ounces. You can take 20, 30 containers of 2.5 ounces and then just get on the other side and
mix them all together.
Mix them all together.
Yeah, but nobody's smart enough to do that.
So about 375 additional people were missing.
Bummer.
Funny that CNN, I don't think, has ever reported that annually about 150 people fail drug tests at the TSA.
Of course they haven't reported that because that doesn't suit their agenda.
And about 30 people get arrested for theft.
How many?
About 30 people annually at the TSA get arrested for stealing from passengers.
Which is a very small percentage unless they're stealing your crap.
Well, but the point is, those are the ones that get arrested.
Right.
And the 150 annually are the ones that, and it's not saying everybody that's doing drugs while on shift. It's those are the ones that just failed the test that were random.
Yes.
So almost 200 people a year fail a drug test or actually get arrested for theft. That's not including all the other infractions.
Right.
They're not talking about that.
No, of course not. Again, doesn't suit their agenda.
I saw a headline while researching this, and I don't see it from any of the more widely accepted, reputable news sources, which obviously CNN doesn't fall into that. But usually, like CNN, there'll be some nugget of truth in something they report. So they have plausible deniability or can explain it away even if they're spinning. I didn't even see CNN reporting this. ABC, anybody like that. But it was on a bunch of websites. It's a headline that I found really interesting. So I looked it up on Snopes. Now, Snopes is a site that talks about urban legends and dispels false information. Snopes is run by progressives, by the way.
Yeah.
Because if you look up some of the hot button political issues, you can see based on, they would report something like Trump said all illegals, or excuse me, all immigrants are murderers and rapists, which he didn't say that. That's the type of stuff that they would fudge. So it's not that Snopes is the authority on this, but I found it interesting that this headline, this news story, wasn't even listed. They didn't bunk it. They didn't debunk it. Not even mention.
Right.
According to this, came out last year. Since 2003, the inception of TSA, 400 TSA agents have been arrested for theft of passenger items, which would put us high 20s, 40, about 30 a year.
Yep.
Not one terrorist has been caught.
But they've apprehended more water bottles than any security
company.
company.
Have taken down DeSanti, baby.
Yes, they have.
Damn straight.
Well, and first of all, what terrorist is going to walk through that line now?
Well, and I start thinking, does that headline seem believable to you? The arrest part, I've seen that reported a lot, so that's probably legit.
Well, okay, so you have to, first of all, define terrorist. Is that somebody with a plan to take a plane down? What was their intention? That whole thing. So
do you recall them arresting, stopping, catching any significant, doesn't have to be high level, significant terrorist?
No. And the guys who
a terrorist plot?
No.
A bomb?
No.
Any oh my gosh, they were trying to smuggle bombs on because they were going to take over a plane or something like that. No.
The last one was the shoe bomber after? When was the shoe bomber? That was in the 90s.
That was that was after 9/11.
Okay.
But he was on the plane.
Yeah, so they didn't stop him, and he's technically a terrorist because Yeah.
And remember, that's the reason they implemented take your shoes off.
Unless you're under 10 or over what?
Or over 75 or something. Because no terrorist would ever think enough to just put it on their kids.
No.
And if you're traveling with kids, you don't have to go through the rapist scan.
Right.
You just walk through the metal detector then.
Yeah, of course.
So, that's the reason you have to take those off. The underwear bomber, same thing.
Yeah.
So I started thinking about this. No, the most that they've done is catch some weapons. And almost all, I don't know if there's been one weapon that was caught that somebody was intending to use for nefarious purposes.
Yeah. And I guess there's really no way to know that. I mean, they haven't, it's not like they found a laptop that had C4 loaded into it and, you know, the wires.
In other words, all of the weapons or most of the weapons I've ever seen, the few that they've caught are, oh, crap, I forgot that was in my luggage.
Right.
Oh, I had that knife, and most of it's nice, not even guns. The few guns have been the same thing. Oh, I was at the range. I left it in my gym bag. I forgot. I threw some clothes, got on the plane.
I've had to send my own knife back to myself 3 or 4 times because I keep forgetting it.
Right. So if I'm wrong, please let me know.
Yeah, I'd love to know.
If they have caught terrorist, singular, or only a couple. And none of them have been... TSA apprehended somebody that was trying to take over, hijack, blow up a plane. Not one of those in almost 20 years.
Yeah. No, but they have changed their shirt color.
15, 16 years? That's right.
It's
2003, 2002.
Yeah. So at least
17, 18 years.
Yeah, they changed their shirt color. That was about it. They went from white to blue.
So this is their big focus today. This is TSA suffering because of the government shutdown.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So
in no way,
travelers are being are having less stress as they go through the security line. Is about the
okay.
The
now
issue.
I've also given you countless stories over the years about TSA failures. So to say security is being compromised because of the government shutdown, because there are fewer TSA agents, I offer you this. I submit that fewer TSA agents leads to greater security because you got fewer people there that are fondling, stealing. Remember the TSA agents that were letting people through? Remember that with drugs?
No. When was that?
A year or so ago. They were letting people completely bypass security, and they had, I think it was drugs. I want to say that was New York.
Were they getting a cut?
I don't know. I'm assuming they were making money off it. They were arrested for it, too. So I offer you this. The fewer agents they have, the better the security. And I offer as evidence of that the airports that do not use TSA. See, airports don't have to use TSA. They just have to follow certain TSA protocols set forth by the government.
Right.
You can not use TSA. There are some big airports like San Francisco that don't use TSA. They screen more people in shorter amounts of time and catch more contraband.
Oh, that can't be true. You cannot tell me that a private company would be more efficient than a government agency.
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Not happen.
So, as of this morning, fewer TSA agents on duty, more of them calling in sick, equals greater security. Prove me wrong.
Every time, that is the one source of stress in an airport, the largest source of stress, and probably with less stress, travelers are less inclined to become angry, violent, hit people, etc. So it's the TSA is security theater at best. DMXDM says the TSA is good at catching terrorists is as good at catching terrorists as Planned Parenthood is at supplying health care for women. Yep.
I wonder if Planned Parenthood is being affected by this. With the shutdown, are they still getting all of their government funds?
That's a good question.
I'm shocked they haven't put that out there. Mark my words. Here it is. If this shutdown lasts another week, maybe even only a couple of days, they will start claiming that women are being hurt because Planned Parenthood it doesn't even have to be not getting the money. It'll say may not, may not get their funding. And they'll claim that Trump is hurting women. It plays into the narrative. Why would Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez...
MoJo.
What is that? That's not right.
I have no idea. That is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Why would she not claim that women are being hurt by Trump?
No particular reason.
Right. They just haven't thought of that yet. That's all it is. So nicely done, DM.
Actually, there's a post on Politico that says they would not. No, this is from, interestingly enough, this is from 4 years ago.
The Obama shutdown.
A government shutdown wouldn't shut down Planned Parenthood. It would continue to receive the majority of its federal funding, including all of its Medicaid payments, even if Congress cannot enact a new spending law on October 1st. This is from 2015. So, but now, yes, I bet you're right.
I wonder if there's any else out there. By the way, that would be a good little exercise for Jack Holes if you want to stick it to some people today.
Yes.
Offer some comparables
Uh-huh.
of shutdown today versus shutdown then.
Yeah.
But about real specific topics, like here's CNN reporting, don't worry, Planned Parenthood will get their money. Planned Parenthood may not get their money.
Right. And it's funny because back in 2015, there are other posts about, believe it or not, most Americans disapprove of shutdown over Planned Parenthood. Also, Donald Trump unveils something.
Yep.
That's
so anyways,
funny.
if you get them, because it doesn't look like this is going away anytime soon.
No.
Certainly not in the next couple of days.
No.
CNN also this morning mentioned some other government agencies that are hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And Planned Parenthood, I'm telling you, they're going to say that because they mentioned the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. Those are consumables, Brad.
Our children are going to get poisoned now? Trump wants your children dead.
They came just shy of saying that. Here's what they reported this morning. Now, I'm paraphrasing, but it was very close to this because I just watched it and I was quickly transcribing. Mm-hmm. But workers are very worried, they said, at the FDA. Workers are very worried. Mm-hmm. Because prescriptions and other drugs, even over the counter, may not be safe. the drugs that were shipped to the pharmacy 6 months ago.
Yeah, they're not safe now.
That Tylenol that's on the shelf of your supermarket didn't arrive yesterday. It wasn't manufactured yesterday during the shutdown.
No, of course not.
And why would it not be safe? Well, the idea is that the FDA will not be there to regulate.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me the FDA is inspecting every effing pill that comes off the assembly line?
Yeah, no. No, they're not.
And I've been at factories, companies, even food and drug type, at state level and meat inspectors, whatever. These people are not very sharp. All it is they go through protocol. Did you wash that knife?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about everything else? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? They're just not.
Yeah.
Then they went on to say at the FDA, they quoted one FDA worker that they spoke to. This is CNN this morning. Mm-hmm. That said, what if there's an outbreak and there's not enough staff?
They didn't say an outbreak of what? Just an outbreak of anything.
An outbreak,
an
Brad.
outbreak.
Do you want there to be an outbreak of anything?
I really don't.
What if there's an outbreak of joy and there's not enough staff to stop it?
Yeah.
What if there's an outbreak of happiness or dancing like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
That's true, and no one's there to stop it.
A spontaneous outbreak of dancing. What if there's a spontaneous outbreak of, like, say, taint rickets, leaking navel syndrome, and they're not there to stop it?
Wow. Yeah, that would be a problem.
Notice there's a whole lot of what ifs, maybes.
Yes.
Could be. Something may down the road if.
Might affect. Could affect.
But mind you, this morning the agents or the anchors, Allison, whatever the hell her name is,
Camerata,
sure, on CNN, were like very intense. This morning the government shutdown may be affecting you and your family. The FDA very worried prescriptions may not be safe. What if there's an outbreak?
That's because their usual go-tos don't work.
Security may be compromised at the airports. Your children will die today. This was the intensity level. And then, Brad, HUD.
Oh no. Is Ben Carson sitting at home?
There may be troubles at HUD.
No, that's horrible.
Not so much the urban part.
Just the housing.
The housing part. I don't know about the development.
Right.
The UD, not so bad. There's trouble.
Bad.
They said that people may lose their homes.
Why?
Because HUD cannot process cases where they pay for people's rent.
Wasn't there a story about banks were going to extend, you could call your bank?
Yeah, there was some, yeah.
So they didn't report that.
It's been, 18 days today? And yes, I know landlords get itchy, but do you know the process to evict somebody?
Oh, it takes months.
Anybody who knows the system, if you're renting, you could easily stay in a place 6, 7, 8 months if you know the system. Not home to get evicted, the sheriff, all this stuff. It takes that long.
Yeah.
So people are going to lose their homes within 18 days.
All of this is because, remember the national monuments that were shut down the last time it was?
Right.
Was that under Bush?
No, that was under Obama.
It was.
Because it was Ted Cruz's fault. Remember?
Oh, that's right. That's right. So they showed all the national monuments being shut down, how people, the Korean War vets couldn't get in to see the Korean War Memorial.
Yep.
But so that they've already played that card. They can't play that one.
When
again.
Obama was president, it wasn't the president's fault. It was a Republican senator.
Right.
When there's a Republican president, Trump, then it's his fault.
Right. Which is strange because neither side likes him.
So they went on to say that these are not just people that may lose their homes. These are the least among us, the elderly, the infirmed. They're the ones that are likely getting money and therefore may be evicted. They can't pay their bills because they're not getting the money from HUD. They quickly threw away at the end of the story that during previous shutdowns, not one person lost their home.
Stop confusing people with the facts.
So they're like this. People may lose their homes. These are the elderly, the infirmed, because they're not able to get their rent paid from. They're not able to get that done during previous, and no one has lost their home.
Right.
Now back to you in the studio to talk about more death and destruction.
Yeah. They're very choosy about what they decide to tell people and what they don't.
So because of Trump this morning, here's what we've learned. Security at the airports may have been compromised. Your children are going to be poisoned, probably because of the lack of oversight from the FDA, and people are losing their homes. Security has been compromised. People are being poisoned, and people are without a home today.
Grandmother
Trump.
Grandmother is in the middle of the freeway in her wheelchair.
This just in, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
It's going to be bad.
Get your communiques in via the social media platforms. Bradley J. Staggs will share those next. More to come, including President Trump's speechifying last night.
Oh, yeah.
A mojo for every state. MoJo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from Pure Opelka. Here's your 2-minute drill. No surprises last night as the president made a logical and salient argument that we need better border security. And no shock that Chancey, Chuck, and Nancy were dug in saying, no, you're not getting anything. Aside from looking ridiculous, they sounded ridiculous. But you know who didn't sound ridiculous? Lindsey Graham. Here's what he said to the employees who are currently furloughed.
As to the government employees, I'm sorry you're in the middle of this mess, but you'll get your back pay. You're going to be fully compensated. Miss Singh is not going to get her husband back. To all those people who have lost loved ones from illegal immigration, your loved ones are not coming back.
Excellent point, Senator Graham. And I also think we need to take note of what Lindsey Graham said about deal-making in the White House and the people on the other side of the aisle.
There's a deal to be had here, but it's hard to get a deal when people you're dealing with call you a racist because you want a border security wall, give you $1 and say that's enough, accuse Border Patrol agents of gassing children when mobs run toward our border. We're dealing with pretty radical people here, and we're never going to get a deal until the radicals are set to the side and we get reasonable people to deal with.
Graham is right. You're never going to get a deal until you shove the radicals aside. And in this case, surprisingly, the radicals are not Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders. The radicals are Chancey, Chuck, and Nancy, and they're in charge of the party. The party needs to act and make a deal with the president. Testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Mike Opalka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious.
MoJoWildRice.com.
You were good on that.
Yeah, it was. Thank you very much. That's what I do.
Well,
sometimes.
Constantly cleaning up Ron's mess. This is how it is.
It is what it is. He was pooping, I think. He does that well.
I love that Matlock said that one day. Matt just throws it out there to give Ron the business.
Oh, my God. That's so embarrassing.
I know.
Not that I would ever suggest that one of the jackals create a Twitter account called Ron's Poop, but...
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, I put it out there, and Ron's like, damn it, why would you say that? I was just running down the hall. Come on. And then as soon as Matlock realized it, was double down, triple down. Matt kind of does that. Matlock and the Conservative Cartel following our broadcast this morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time here on MoJo50.com. Following his broadcast, the 2-hour Morse code extravaganza.
Saw him yesterday. He looks good, damn it.
I know, I hate it.
I hate that guy. Just pisses me off.
Oh, you want to feel better about it? Because Brandon is what, late 30s? Mid to late 30s?
Is he that old?
I think he's 38.
Is he really?
35, 36, right in there? 35.
Okay.
Here's what's good. Within the next 5 to 8 years,
Yeah.
he'll start learning.
Yes. Things will start
Right?
to hurt.
Yeah.
He will know about the parts he has right now that are going to start hurting in 5 to 8 years.
So right now, he's the cock of the walk, you know.
Yeah.
And then
Yes, he
within
is.
5 to 8 years, he'll be walking on. Well, let's just move on.
Yes,
Communique's coming in now.
Rants Out Loud tweeted, breaking, due to the government shutdown, the angel of death will come upon every American home and death and destruction will ensue unless the First National Church of Government is reopened immediately. It is so true. Attack Yuki. This is Trump's fault. Government shutdown, hysteria, dogs and cats loving each other. The world is indeed ending.
So silly.
And symbolic kitty galore. Do beaver sac secretions count as fluid to the TSA? That's a good question.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it's probably, if you're going to carry beaver secretions through TSA, it's probably also required to be under 3 ounces.
We may have to launch a probe into that matter.
Okay, I'll give you that. That's fine.
Find out whether or not. And the Steve 42, if the FCC loses the funding, there may be an epidemic of wardrobe malfunctions and cursing on television.
Janet's titty will be everywhere unless we shut this down. Stop this government shutdown. Janet Jackson's titty will be everywhere today.
Or in the words of Stinky, shit may happen.
That's right. It could. That's absolutely right. Wow. Okay. I feel better about this. Got to get to Trump's speechifying last night. Michael Palka just mentioned it a little bit there.
Testudo, my friend.
Testudos. Thank you.
I love those. Have you ever had chili on your testudos?
Yeah, but you got to eat it quickly or it starts getting soggy.
It does.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
So quickly, yes. I prefer to dip my testudos into the chili.
Oh, I've never tried that.
Yeah, don't pour it on.
I'm going to next
Because
time.
by the end of it, some of it's going to be soggy and you don't want that at all.
I love that. That's what I'm trying next time.
I'm not sure you need to be eating any additional testudos.
Why not? They're good for you.
They're
They're
good.
high in protein.
Yes,
high
but
in fiber,
but also high in calorie, and I'm not sure you need that.
Oh
right?
no! I get the low fat testudos.
Well, you
can
need
get
low cal though.
I just see there's the ancient debate on whether it's calories or fat.
It's calories. Trust me, it's calories.
I'm going with the low fat testudos.
Okay.
I mean, they don't taste quite as cheesy, but
Here's
they're
the good
awfully
news, though. Here's the good news. If you take the Riduzone, it won't matter because you're just going to desire them less.
That's true.
You're going to be. It's going to naturally make you feel fuller.
That's right.
So you're like, oh my gosh, look at those chili covered testudos with the whatever, but
dipped in chocolate.
But you know what? I feel kind of full right now. I'm okay. I'm good to go.
All right.
And you're going to be burning more calories because it's going to boost your metabolism.
Let me ask you one simple question. Who was it sitting at the table last night at the meeting that went on forever and ever and ever? Who didn't have one caramel M&M? Who was that? Who?
That was you.
That was me. You know why?
Why is that?
Didn't desire them.
You didn't desire them.
Didn't desire them.
Which is shocking because you love some caramel.
Oh, man. I would roll naked in a vat of caramel.
I kept saying to Matlock, you want an M? And he's like, no, thank you. I don't know if you realize I do that at every meeting to him.
Hadn't noticed.
Matt doesn't like the sugary stuff.
No,
he
he
doesn't
doesn't.
like the sweets, which
He's
is weird.
Yeah, there's something
He
wrong
might
with
be
him.
one of those lizard people.
He could be a serial killer.
Like our buddy Dan Bongino.
He didn't like sugar either?
No, he's a lizard person.
Oh, man.
Haven't you seen the videos back when he was on the job? There's videos. I bring this up all the time, and Dan's like, damn it, stop saying that. People watch the video. And then I get this surge of emails and comment about me being a lizard man.
How do you know he's not? How do you know he's not?
You know what? That would explain so much.
Yes, it would.
Because he's one of the few people in the media world I actually get along with. He must be some sort of mutant.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be the only thing that tells me Matt, unless, of course, it's the translator that Matt uses as a lizard that makes him talk so loud.
Maybe that's it.
It could be adjusted to.
It's always, it's just a little too loud. They're like, turn down your translator. It's too loud.
That's it. The only thing that leads me to believe he may not be a lizard person.
So during these meetings, I'm always like this. You want an M? And he's like, no, thank you. You want an M?
Yeah.
And an M&M? No, thank you.
Did he have a beer last night? Because he said he wasn't going to be
He did.
drinking much during the week. He said he was cutting that down.
He did. But during the meetings, in order to get through them, he had a beer or two or three.
Yeah. Wow.
So he's happy.
Yeah.
He has lost a bunch of weight with the RidUZone, though, so God bless him. RIDUZone.com, RidUZone.com. It's going to make you feel a little bit fuller and burn more, and boost your metabolism so you're burning more. It works. It's the bottom line. We know countless people that have lost countless number of pounds, and we would like to count you as one of those people.
And the gender that you're most attracted to will be far more attracted to you if you take RidUZone.
Yep, because you're going to drop a few pounds with it, and that's what's really important.
Scientifically proven.
What was it that I kept asking Matt last night that you finally?
Oh yeah. Oh, can they be the logos on the Tyga coolers? Because Tyga can put any logo on their cooler that you want. If you want Tyga coolers.
Tyga has cat coolers.
Yes, they do.
The cat logo.
Yeah.
And we know Wayne and the Tyga people are real solid people. And we were talking about them last night, and Matt's giving us the big pitch on them. Oh, great there. And he goes, and they can put the logo, any logo. They can put any logo you want, anything you want on this. You can have your logoed cooler or whatever. And I was like, can they do Pepsi? And he was like, yeah, they can do any logo. And I was like, could they do ours? And he was like, yep. They absolutely could. And then a couple minutes later, he's like, yeah, any logo, blah, blah. And I was like, what about like 7-Eleven? Let's say 7-Eleven. Because then he goes, yeah, any logo. And so he starts talking to Nina Brad, and I go, you got to go. What was it you asked him?
What's the one I asked him about? I don't know. It was like Nike. Can they, like Nike? Can they do a swoosh?
And he got this look on his face. He goes, yes. Yes. Any logo. It was at that moment I couldn't contain myself.
It's Patrick with numbers. The outdoing.
I'm kind of a dick at those meetings. I just realized
kind
that.
Kind of. Yes.
It keeps it fun, though.
Yeah. Well, it keeps it.
For me.
Yes.
I don't know about y'all. All right, back to what's going on in the world, sadly, including the president speechifying last night. Did you, Bradley J. Staggs, watch
it was,
and listen to that speech?
It was pleasantly short, and I thought he made his point, and I don't know. It seemed logical to me.
Ron Phillips, did you consume the president's speech last night?
I did.
And what were your thoughts?
Oh, it was a good speech. He said some things that actually were heartfelt. I mean, you know, you hear Lindsey Graham and other people talk about how this was the most presidential you've seen him, but I just struggle to get over the fact that the guy has to read that teleprompter like he does.
Yeah, I'm going to say you're both wrong. It was not good.
Okay.
You don't think it was?
Yeah, the best part about it, it was short. Is it when it was
that
over?
That is the one thing I would say.
9 minutes.
He looked tired. He doesn't do down tempo well. You're right, reading the teleprompter the way he did. Was there something in his eye? Is his eye, he's got the wonky eye now. I don't know what's going on.
Has Ron been kissing him?
And then the overall content of the speech, the words, what he's trying to get. Yes, there were some positive, heartfelt things. I will give you that. But that is not what Trump needed to do. And if he wanted to go heartfelt with this thing, then he should have laid out even more of an argument. I think, if I remember right, he mentioned the agent that was killed. What is his name? Singe?
Yeah, he did. Didn't he mention an agent and a cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needed to go bigger with that and bring up Kate Steinle and everybody else. And why didn't he bring up the Remembrance Project? Why didn't he do any of that? You have to lay that out on a much bigger scale. You can't just go, well, some people were killed in a 9-minute speech and whatever. The left doesn't give a flying fig about that.
No.
You must force it on them. Or go over the top and threaten.
Right.
And mean it, of course, or take a completely different tact altogether. I just don't see this. How is this going to be effective? Was there anybody's mind on the left that was changed?
No.
Was there anybody's mind on the right that was changed?
But I don't think he could have done anything, no matter what he said.
Okay.
He could have had pictures of the dead agents out there, and I don't think it would have done anything.
So nobody's mind was changed.
I don't think it.
Okay.
No. I think it gave people arguments and talking points. Maybe they laid out facts.
Okay, the facts were challenged. And by the way, some of his facts were wrong. Legitimately, they were. His little, and Mexico will pay for it because of the new tariffs and new... the money
we've saved on tariffs. It was, there was a complicated math problem in there that He probably could have gone without saying that, but that was his ego speaking. He wanted to.
He had to mention that because he put himself on the hook by saying Mexico would pay for it over and over again. Yeah. And I told you at the time there was no way Mexico was going to pay for it.
Of course not.
I don't hate the border wall, but I know it's not the end-all, be-all.
Right.
I'm fine with building it. I have questions about what it's going to cost. If you can get Mexico to pay for it, good. But I know it's not going to happen.
Right.
The president is full of crap when it comes to that. I support his border efforts, and I'm glad he's talking about this stuff, and he's right about immigrants. He's right about these things.
But will the wall be the
He's
solution?
not getting the job done. The best he's being is a thorn in the side of the progressives. That's still better than we've had.
Yeah,
I'll
it
give
is.
you that.
And again, it's the government, which, if you ask me, is a good thing. Shut it down for 17 days.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So
what he should have done was made the argument and take it. The one thing I did like in the speech is where he called out Chuck Schumer a little bit, and that's fine.
Yeah.
He needed to put this on them and say something like, if you're blaming me for the shutdown, I'll take responsibility, at least for some of it. But I'm not solely responsible.
Right.
For those of you that are saying it's my shutdown because I won't capitulate, they could capitulate. They could just go along with me. How come they're not?
Didn't he say that? Didn't he say that the reason that the government is shut down is because they won't? I don't remember verbatim what he said, but I did.
But if you're going to do that, you have to go big with it. You have to lay it out better. Or...
but that's the grandstanding that every politician does. And I think that's the charm of Trump, is that he does not speak like a politician. So he doesn't
I'll give you that. That's fine. But this didn't do anything.
It more than anything, it probably entrenched each side in their position.
Or offer anything new.
No, there was really nothing new, and he could not declare a state of emergency. He said there's a crisis.
He's trying to make the crisis issue. You didn't lay out enough of an issue for the crisis.
Right.
Seriously, you've got to bring more examples. You got to tug on more heartstrings. And if he wanted to, here's the truth about it. Yes, there are people dying on the other side of the border and immigrants that have come here and traveled and children or whatever. Yes, that happens. That is not my fault. It's not Trump's fault. It's not your fault. It's the people's fault who traveled through the desert, came here, whatever. Now, people on the left, the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes out there will tell you that's because they're dying and being killed in their country, and they're not just immigrants, they're refugees. And okay.
Right.
So if you want to get them to understand your side of this, if either side really cared about this, you've got to recognize and try to understand the points they're making.
Right.
Yes, people are hurt, people are dying, people have suffered, people want to come to America. Most people on the right welcome immigrants.
Yes.
Most people on the right not only welcome immigrants, they're passionate about it.
Absolutely. That's what the country was built upon.
When I've told stories of individual immigrants that have become legalized or naturalized citizens,
right,
the phone lines light up, people supporting. There was a woman I had on the air in Virginia years ago who came in on the day she got sworn in. She came into my afternoon show, handed me her business card that said her name and the word citizen.
That's kind of cool.
And sat down, and she had a little button on that said American.
Right.
And was proud. I think she was from Russia, somewhere in that part of the world. And she'd been a legal resident for years as required. She told her story. And the phone lines and emails and social media jacked up with people saying, welcome. I'm so thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? They hate immigrants?
No.
Because she wasn't one of those brown ones? No. Nope. People, Americans, people on the right, love, adore, feel their hearts swell at the thought of people wanting to join them because they believe those people doing it legally have respect, so much respect for America that they believe in the American dream, not the American dream of owning a home or what's been marketing, but that idea of personal freedoms and what America stands for, the greater idea and concept and principle of America than simply a country.
Opportunity.
Yes.
The opportunity to build and be whatever you want.
And when those people on the right hear that, they get all freaking weepy-eyed and just love it. When I've told the story of my wife getting sworn in that, people love it. So people on the left, stop with the hating immigrants and all of that. Nor do we believe that all of them are criminals and rapists, whatever. The president doesn't even believe that.
No.
So if you really want to understand, then you start with that and say, if they really feel that way about immigrants, then what's the difference here? Dun, 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 dun. The illegal part. Now, we on the right want to understand what they're saying. There are people suffering.
Yes.
People have died. Obviously, the media has spun and tried to blame Trump on the kids and whatever. And I'm sure a lot of people on the right now listening would say, but it's not our fault, whatever. Yes, you're right. Can we offer any other suggestions or ideas to help those people? There's where the argument is. So people on the left, stop it. Here's your solution. We have an immigration problem, and that immigration problem is threefold. Number one, border security. Number two, the legal immigration system and how complex it is. And number three, and with number two, how do we allow for migrant workers and stuff like that, guest workers? And number three, the illegals and what to do with them. There it is. Break them apart. No comprehensive immigration reform, because that's just used in order to get illegals amnesty. That's really what they're doing here. Told you this many times. And then if we're going to have the conversation about border wall, and your objection is, well, we've got to help those people coming across. Great. Let's talk about how we help them. I'm willing to start there. If you on the left, and by that I mean CNN and the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes, stop saying I hate immigrants, or I or the president believe that they're all rapists or murderers. Stop it. You're not being genuine here.
Now, Dan over on Facebook said the right already wants the wall. The left needs to feel good about building the wall. That's true. Which is ironic, since it's usually the left that is, it's all about feelings.
Right, exactly. We're also dealing with the politician factor here, too, that they're just running back and forth. We've actually got to cut them out of the loop here. Cut them out of the loop and have the conversations with people that are, more liberal. Guys, seriously, I don't look at the children that are dying in custody. There's only been a few, not like the media has spun. I don't look at them and go, oh, well, I feel horrible.
Of course.
I would think most people on the right do. What pisses me off and where we start losing the conversation is because the spin is blaming Trump and ICE and everything else. So then we miss the biggest issue of people are suffering, and we do want people to be able to come here legally, and we do want to help people. That's who we are.
Of course.
You've just got to do it the right way. I don't know if it's by design or because they're hysteria, probably a little bit of both. But they pin that little piece to children dying or other people suffering that it's Trump's fault and ICE and all of this. And what do? We react to that part instead of getting to the... If you want to solve the problem, you've got to hear what their real objection their real issue is.
Well, and I think the broader point is that I don't think either side in Congress wants any sort of obstruction to these people coming across the border, because they look at it as a voting block. And that's the one thing
they just each want credit for it. Their side, right?
Yes, which gets the illegal immigrants on their side, which becomes a vote, which just enhances their power and continues that. So that's what the real pissing match is in government, is they don't want to let the power go to the other side. They each want credit for letting these people across the border. And if they just the system is screwed up, there's no doubt about it. But that's not going to happen either. Do you see the government ever simplifying the immigration process? No, they don't simplify anything. The best they do is complicate everything they touch and make it cost more money.
It's time for a coffee break.
Come on, Yellowstone. Come on, Mars.
You could just have coffee.
Well, now you get me all worked up. You throw all this stuff at me, and then I get worked up, and then...
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel fine. I'm drinking American Pride Roasters coffee. Would you like to just join me?
Maybe I would, yeah.
Drink it if you got it.
That tastes sexual.
Oh, are you having the sexual chocolate?
I think I might be.
How does Ron Phillips taste to you?
He's mighty yummy.
Is he chocolatey?
He is chocolatey.
On the back side of that's where you really hit the chocolate and then the raspberry.
Poor choice of words.
On the back side of it, you hit the chocolate. So you go, take a drink and tell me. Talk your way through every sensation. Go. What's up front?
There's a fruity taste in there, too.
Right, that's on the back end, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and there's the chocolate. It's just it's not overpowering.
Do you hit the raspberry first or the chocolate first?
Let me
go here. Coffee up front.
Yeah, the raspberry, and then
I'm getting the chocolate first. Let me try that again. Ron, you having sexual chocolate this morning?
I'm getting the raspberry first. My mouth is set up differently than yours.
That's weird.
I get the raspberry first, then the chocolate. Of course, that doesn't surprise me because I like sweet stuff. So my sweet receptors are back there just begging for it.
I get the coffee flavor up front. A little bit later, I'm going to go back to the Bananas Foster because I have some cold brewing right now.
I haven't tried that. I will try that.
It's good. So Matt Locke comes to me yesterday, and he goes, and he's a coffee fan. He loves American Pride Roasters coffee too. He goes, "Did you make the coffee?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" And he goes, "What kind did you use?" I said, "A little special something I put together. A little surprise for you." And he goes, "This is awesome. What is it?" And I go, "I did a mix. You ready?" Mm-hmm. I did 1 part hazelnut and 1 part Bananas Foster.
So it's like having
banana nut bread.
Yes.
Except not walnuts, pecan.
I was actually thinking of
hazelnut.
like a banana split with nuts on it.
You could do that too.
Yeah.
You know what it is though? I figured out when you do the flavor coffee, when you add and I've told DM this too. Anytime you have some nut flavor as part of the base, somehow it brings out the flavor of everything else.
Yes.
Whether it's a chocolate, whatever. So I've done hazelnut and pecans. They're pecan when they've done it, amazing as well. So
and it's pecan, not pecan.
No.
You think it's pecan?
No, of course
pecan.
not. And it's also caramel.
It's caramel.
Okay. Anyways, try your coffee. Try the coffee today. It's AmericanPrideRoasters.com. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Simply the best coffee in America. And it's the official coffee of MoJo 50.
Yeah, B from the SAV. It says, not at any point in your ramblings, Doc Thompson, did you mention the words tremendous, best words ever, or my favorite, let me be clear. Yours made too much sense.
Let me be clear. Let me tremendous.
He did say, did he say tremendous last night?
I don't think so.
He said something, one of the big words, but I can't remember what it was. And Mojo Privilege, Larky Farkin, Real Ron Phillips isn't putting himself in his mouth this morning. Or is he?
What he does in the little room by himself is fine. Sometimes I don't see him through the glass, so.
And thank you, DMXDM. More chocolate on the backside. Awkward. Thank you.
I liked it.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me.
And I'm going to admit, I am guilty of something that I find very frustrating. I don't think I was as guilty as many people, but still I will admit some guilt here. During the Obama administration, I was so incensed. Just, I could not believe, still when I look back at the things he did and said, and he was very good at speechifying, amazing, one of the best.
And good at getting things done.
And good at getting his agenda done. I mean, in my memory, which is not as many presidents as maybe Brad Stagg's,
not that much older.
Obama and Reagan, clearly the best speechifiers. Not even close. Nobody's even. A distant third would be Clinton.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, but even go back. Ford, not great. Even when I see the video for the time. Johnson, no. Guy was a goof. Kennedy was okay, but none of them could command. The only thing Kennedy had going for him was that charisma, being young and Camelot.
Yeah.
Eisenhower, what he said, off the chart. And Eisenhower commanded a certain respect from, his previous successes.
Right.
But still, as a speechifier, nowhere near Reagan and Obama. So he was great. But I was guilty of calling his character into question at times, where questioning his motives. Now, most of the time I knew it was just about his agenda. His agenda, he believed he was doing what's right. He's just so fundamentally wrong about personal freedoms. He wants that control, but he sees those things as a good thing.
Right.
And that's the breakdown. If you don't start there, we will never solve any of these problems. And we've gotten there, left versus right, because of D.C.
Oh, absolutely. They keep the people divided, and it keeps us busy spinning in circles while they do what they want.
I'm just shocked you ended up watching last night because there were alternatives. There were alternatives.
I wasn't gonna, but I did.
Did you see the main alternative?
I did not. What was it?
While he was speechifying, somebody else put on their own 8-minute show.
Who was it?
Stormy Daniels.
Did she really?
She tweeted yesterday. Now, I did not watch because blah.
You don't like those big old floppy things? Because they are.
I saw him by accident one day, and that's still burned into my head. Wow. Gravity. She tweeted out, if you're looking for anything even remotely worth watching tonight at 9 p.m., I will be folding laundry in my underwear for 8 minutes on Instagram Live.
Okay.
No.
That or Elizabeth Warren on Instagram. Which one would you watch?
You're going to have to be more clear.
Elizabeth Warren when she did her little speech with the beer.
Okay, speech with the beer, then Elizabeth Warren. But if you're talking Elizabeth Warren in her underwear, I can't make that decision this quickly. I need a lot more alcohol.
No. So did she? Did
I'm assuming she did.
Huh. It's hard to find those after they're done.
Why would that? Did anybody watch? Would they? Why would they?
Oh, I'll bet you she had a. I'll bet you she had a significant.
No, let me clarify. Did anybody watch because they were like, all right, well, they're in underwear. Stormy Daniels.
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I guess you're right. There's people that screw horses and stuff. So, I guess there are freaks in cars. And, that's true.
That must have been where everybody was while I was folding clothes in my underwear on Instagram last night.
You're like, come on. Where is everybody?
I was actually watching Ron Phillips fold his underwear while I watched Trump.
I was folding with Ron, but that's a whole different...
And you can't find the videos after they've been on Instagram.
There are some sickos out there, I guess, that would have watched that thing. But
if somebody can send a link
to the Stormy Daniels,
yes,
send that to @RealBradStaggs.
Just tweet it
and @RealRonPhillip. Thank you.
Because I would just
curiosity, conducting your own investigation, your
I
research.
Watch all investigative.
When you see a traffic accident, do you not watch it as you go by?
I would have watched it for the purpose of the show. Yeah, the train wreck for the purpose of the show. Or it would have been a little like this. Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Look at this.
This milk is nasty. Here, smell.
My wife, when we go out to dinner or something, whatever, and she tries something, she's like, "Oh, that's horrible. Here, try this."
There's something in the American.
My wife is in the human front line when it comes to that, though.
This tastes awful.
Will not take no for an answer.
No, taste it.
This is horrible.
Seriously,
it's one of the worst
taste
things.
It.
You may instantly throw up when you try this. Try it.
I don't want to taste it, but I don't want taste it. Okay, I'll taste it.
Didn't you get into an argument about that?
Shut up. We're not talking about that.
Right, he did.
That is never talking about that.
I forgot about it.
Nope. I learned that lesson. Never try to share something you like with somebody you like.
And you were trying to get them to taste it.
Yeah, it was like, this is good. Try it. No. Try it. No. Try it. No. Try it. No. Okay. F you.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Following last night's Oval Office address in which President Trump referred to a crisis on the southern border.
A crisis of the heart and a crisis of the soul.
Today, the president heads up to Capitol Hill.
With roughly 1/4 of the federal government closed over a border wall funding dispute, the president will take his message to Republican senators at their weekly luncheon. He made a public case with his Oval Office speech, and he'll try to keep the support of GOP lawmakers. The president argues that there are serious national security and humanitarian concerns at the border, and that Congress should approve money to build a wall.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston says Mr. Trump will hold more talks with a bipartisan group of lawmakers this afternoon before he pays a visit to the U.S.-Mexico border tomorrow. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein reportedly planning to leave the Justice Department after a new Attorney General is confirmed. Correspondent Jeremy House says that's a word from Justice Department insiders.
According to the officials, Rosenstein wants to ensure a smooth transition for incoming nominee Bill Barr and plans to transition out of the job in the coming weeks. Barr's Senate confirmation hearing begins January 15th, meaning a confirmation vote would take place in mid-February at the earliest. If confirmed, Barr would then oversee the special counsel's Russia investigation.
An investigation that President Trump has often referred to as a witch hunt. In what's viewed as a positive sign by the financial markets, U.S. and Chinese envoys have tacked an extra day onto their 2 days of trade talks in Beijing. And while there's been no official assessment of how the talks went, the markets are encouraged. Overseas markets rose. And this morning on Wall Street, futures pointing to a higher open. Right now, Dow futures are up about 80 points with the blue chips at 23,824. S&P futures 6.5 points higher. And NASDAQ futures currently up 23 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
One man. This is Stephen Airy with Defenders Live. One desire.
Is that a Pablo Francisco skit?
That reference is as old as Brad Stagg's.
All right, fine. Let's get it over with.
I thought you might see it my way. He's here to give a defense of American exceptionalism.
Arm yourselves, America. It's time for some offensive defense.
Starring B-Rate Tom Cruise.
Dude, I said that my name in the beginning. Pay attention.
In an hour-long epic for the minds of this generation. Do not miss this. Defenders Live on MoJo 50. 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Live free.
Yeah, what he said. MoJo 50, Defenders Live, 9 p.m. Monday through Friday.
There's a better way to meet people without having to suffer through all the crazies. Weed out all the nutty people with WeThePeople.dating. That's WeThePeople.dating. It's easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
Ship has landed.
Oh my gosh, I just realized something. Wow.
You're identifying as Two-Spirit?
No, I'm going to tweet out 3 pictures.
Oh, jeez.
And just...
this isn't going to result in a lawsuit, is it?
No, I've got 3 pictures here and just see if you see anything anything in common.
Okay.
Notice anything.
This has the potential to be really good or really bad.
Okay, just did it.
All right.
Did you take a look at that then,
We're
too?
looking at commonalities.
Yeah, I like commonalities. That's because there's 3 pictures there. Ron Phillips of the Conservative Cartel, who spins the dial radio style for us. I want him to take a look at it as well. I think he's pooping right now, but no, he's here.
He's there.
Did you see the tweet?
I see.
Yeah. We all have wonky eyes.
What?
Well, what?
Just one each? Though.
No. I meant notice how much these 3 men command respect.
Is that what it is?
That they are respected in their... Because it's a picture of Ron Phillips and President Trump and also Chuck Schumer.
Well, if Wonky Eye commands respect, they're all getting the utmost.
Wow, I just meant that these are 3 honorable men. It's shocking that you guys would assume that I meant something else.
I did find a difference in Trump's, though, however.
What's
it's
that?
The opposite eye.
Well, he is left-handed.
That's a good point.
I don't know. Is he left-handed?
He might be.
Obama was.
Yeah. Huh.
Is.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm just saying.
Okay.
Did you see Chuck and Nancy? We haven't even gotten to them.
No. I did not watch their rebuttal.
Nancy had more makeup on
their
than
rebuttal.
Makeup artist.
Oh my gosh, that's so perfect. Did you watch their rebuttal? Because that's really what it was like. Holy moly, that's amazing.
The memes are enough.
So uncomfortable, so awkward. And you know what's going on there. Their egos would not allow them to look good on camera. Think about that. Their egos would not allow them to do a good job. They were driven because, as we talked about yesterday, Chuck and Nancy, their egos are gargantuan. They have to get their mugs on camera. Neither one of them would allow the other one, both leaders of their party, would allow the other one to upstage them even for a second. We didn't need both of them.
No,
to
of course
represent.
not.
Right.
No, every stupid conference that they do, every press conference, it's one of them saying something, the other one getting up there and saying the same thing, using 4 different words.
They could have just one of them, but they both wanted that attention.
Yes.
So they said, okay, we'll get you guys both out there. Where are you going to be? You got to be at a podium. Okay. Well, there's only going to be one mic, so will you move around? They lobbed them. They put it both of them had it on their lapel, so to speak. Well, why wouldn't you, Chuck's a little bit taller than her.
Yes.
Why wouldn't he just stand behind her, kind of offset?
No.
Can't do that. She can't upstage him.
No. He can't look like he's the number 2 guy.
Right. But if he does the same, she won't take that. So they had to stand next to each other.
Yeah.
But both seem like they're
awkwardly in each other's personal space.
It couldn't have been Nancy standing at the podium first and then Chuck moving over. No.
Is he not the number 2 guy?
Well, he couldn't look like the number 2 guy to her standing at the podium.
Right.
He's the minority leader, right?
He's
in the Senate.
the majority leader now.
He's the minority leader in the Senate.
In the Senate.
Nancy is the Speaker of the House, technically the majority leader, although there's usually a majority leader.
I got you. So maybe
they're both
maybe
royalty.
But I don't know who is the standard bearer for the party, if that actually existed. One of the two of them, likely. But it doesn't matter. Just, you guys, share the time. And because of this, you ended up looking like a-holes this morning.
They don't think
Instead of using that opportunity when I don't think Trump did that great of a job to come out and show how normal and sane you are. See, that's all they have to do with their base is just seem reasonable.
Man, Nancy looked like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Even more so. I didn't hear her speak. Did her dentures slip?
I don't know. I wasn't paying that close attention. I was just so shocked at the American Gothic look of this thing. Because, the podium isn't wide enough to cover both of them.
Right.
They were smashed in shoulder to shoulder. Tighter. Horrible.
Which really freaked Nancy out.
I mean, if Chuck had just come out and said, hey, here's what's going on, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. It would have been fine.
Would have been fine. Or Nancy.
Yes.
His was actually, his comments were pretty pointed, pretty solid, if not for the fact that he looked like some creepy, crusty old man smashed next to some crypt keeper.
Is he maybe going to step into the 2020 race?
No.
Okay. Just mark the
I think if there was, if one of them would consider doing it, it would likely be Nancy out of the two of them, but neither one will consider it. They know their power, where their power is, and they know they will get savaged.
Okay.
They've done too many dirty things over the years. They're not clean enough.
Not the good dirty.
No, not the good dirty things. Absolutely not.
All right. And I understand exactly what you're saying.
Oh, this isn't working. Ron, we're going to need to put us up here. I don't think we got this thing.
Put us up. Are you ready?
There we go.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
And these profound headlines, at least this portion, is brought to you by EraCapitalManagement.com. It's your fault. You keep making me say that. Make your money work for you with Era Capital Management. Let's talk about the Trump address. According to the Washington Post, there is no new crisis at the border. Apprehensions of people trying to cross the border peaked most recently at 1.6 million in 2000 and have been in a steady decline since, partly because of technology upgrades, tougher penalties after 9/11, and a decline in migration rates from Mexico, while there's been a sharp rise in Border Patrol officers. So,
meaning
we don't need a wall. That's what they say.
Oh.
This is according to the Customs and Border Protection report, 303,000 roughly apprehensions at the U.S.-Mexico border for fiscal year 2017, the lowest in more than 45 years, and in fiscal 2018, 90,000 more. So there you go. The problem with numbers, you can spin them any way you want to. What is it? 98% of all statistics? Or
no, are you an idiot? It's not 98%. 89.7% of statistics are made up.
There you go. And there you have it. Speaking of statistics, 47% of U.S. Americans think that stormy weather affects cloud computing.
Oh!
Yeah.
Boy, that took me a while those people are idiots.
Well, and they're not going to like this then. The government shutdown means some weather forecasting tools are at risk.
Uh-oh, oh no.
Be prepared. The national...
Is Doppler still online?
Doppler's still online for now. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric, let's just call it NOAA, is functioning under a partial shutdown.
NOAA.
Yes. They remember they are them and many others are climate and weather related. They all operate under NOAA. These agencies analyze the data. They develop forecasts.
The oceans are still there, though, right?
I haven't seen them.
Is the atmosphere still there?
You know what? I haven't seen the live cam, and I haven't seen the atmosphere. So there's a chance that that neither one exists. The problem is our weather forecasts may not be as accurate as they usually are.
Let me ask you something. Are there still enough government workers on the job fighting climate change today?
Well, we can't. Are you kidding? We can't furlough them.
I mean,
they are mission critical.
I mean, I know that they are a necessity.
Absolute necessity.
But officially, are they labeled as a necessity, or is that just,
if they're not, they should be.
Okay, this is something we need to address.
I mean, do we want the Earth to blow up? Giant ball of fire? No, of course not.
Never,
so you cannot furlough these people. So if your local weather forecast is not correct, it is because of the government shutdown. In other words, Trump. Things that will never happen to us, Part 9. No Massachusetts teenager paid for his lunch at a school cafeteria, got his change. Within that change was a 1943 copper Lincoln cent. 1 penny. 1 penny, 1 cent, one tiny little penny.
How much?
It is expected to fetch up to $1.7 million.
If I'm not mistaken, that is the year that they only produced like 8 out of copper and the rest were made out of lead or something.
Steel. Yeah,
steel.
And that's the funny thing. You can do tricks with steel pennies. They're attracted to magnets, which usually copper ones aren't. 1942 pennies supposed to be struck from steel because they were conserving copper for shell casings and telephone wire. Only 20 of these rare coins, it is believed, were made.
1.2.
And this kid's a coin collector, too. He's 16-year-old coin collector Don Lutz of Pittsfield, Mass. Found one in the change after he got done buying lunch.
Do you know the amount of time I've spent in my life looking at my change to make sure it's nothing obviously more valuable?
Yeah, how much?
A lot.
Time?
Way too much time. Just that this would happen to me.
I save pennies. I had a giant, remember the old Sparklets water jugs, the glass ones? Yeah. I had it almost full of pennies.
I had one all completely full.
I had to actually 1.5 full.
And I go through, I mean, I look at it, I found a couple of all silver quarters where they didn't have copper in them at the time. I found a couple of those, but that's it.
They're not worth it.
One time I found a mercury head dime. Wasn't worth much. I don't know, like $4 or something.
Nothing make.
No.
Remember, mercury's poison.
Just so
don't ever
frustrating.
Yes. By the way,
this kid.
If I'm not incorrect here, I think this happened back in 1947. I think that's when he found it.
He found it in 47?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think. An Oklahoma game warden caught a poacher through a dating app.
Wait, what? A poacher in Oklahoma? Or is he a poacher elsewhere?
An Oklahoma woman looking for love got a little more than she bargained for when she unwittingly shared her exhilaration about illegally shooting a big old buck on a dating app with a state game warden that she...
no.
Yeah.
So he was looking for a date, too?
He was looking for a date, too. She was looking for a date. You know what I'm guessing? Is that she was going to diss him. She wasn't going to go out with him. And he thought, because if she was hot,
he would have looked the other way.
Oh, yeah. If she was hot, he would
have said, listen, you can't do that. I know you probably didn't know, so let's just,
she's either ugly or bitchy.
Maybe both.
Or both. They were having a conversation on Bumble. What is Bumble?
It's a dating app.
Is it? Really? How do you know?
I've heard stories.
She talked about using a spotlight to shoot the deer at night outside the rifle season. The woman only harvested the head and backstrap meat, and she sent the guy pictures as proof of it. I don't think those are the pictures he was hoping she'd send him.
No, when he said, "Send me some pictures of backstrap meat."
That's not exactly.
I don't think he's like, "Oh dear." Yeah, I bet it should have been a little more specific with that.
Not what he was looking for.
So, what I want to know, did she know he was the game warden?
If she did, she's a moron on top of being
No, because I mean, how long are you communicating before you bring up that you were poaching deer?
Well, it's maybe the guy was maybe
was it in a room about hunting or something?
Maybe it was their common interest.
Okay, I guess that could happen. It just.
I mean, it's you got to find some commonality before you start.
I swiped right. Can you tell me about yourself? Well, last night I was poaching deer. Here's the picture of the backstrap meat.
You want to see a picture of my meat?
That's right. I mean, had to be confusion, because I could see her, him saying, "Oh, I'm a game warden," and she's like, "Oh, I'm a hunter." Cool, and not getting.
I don't know that I would. If somebody told me they were a game warden, I don't think the first thing out of my mouth would be, "I'm a hunter." I don't know. It's like the popo, isn't it?
I mean, hunting is legal.
Yeah, but
it's not like, I'm a cop. Oh, I'm a drug dealer. It's not like you do that. You could say, I'm a cop, and you could say, oh, I take part in legal activities that the cops would monitor.
Right.
I'm a driver, and I drive illegally.
If you're going to be dating somebody, I would think that you'd want to find something other than that in common. Maybe not. I'm just too old for it. Guess what's back, by the way, over across the pond? It's another one.
Oh, Spotted Dick. Is it Spotted Dick?
It is not
is it making a resurgence?
No, that is not what it is.
Do you like Spotted Dick?
Who doesn't? I mean,
I've never had Spotted Dick, and
you should.
I've seen it, and I'm interested.
I've seen it offered as a side dish to testudo, but I've never tried it.
Well, I mean, I see it, and I've considered buying it.
You feel guilty?
Let's just say I'm bi-curious about Spotted Dick.
Okay.
And
you feel guilty about wanting to
no,
try
I just don't want to spend them. What if I spend the money and I don't like it?
That's a good point.
Then I'm on the hook for it.
Yes, you are.
Maybe I should just commit.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, you're a guy. It's not possible.
Hey, if anybody around here ends up with some Spotted Dick and would like to let me try a little piece of it, I would appreciate that.
We'll find out.
I'll bet Patrick, because Chef Patrick said Spotted Dick.
Oh, I'll
Matlock. Maybe he hasn't. He doesn't like that sweet stuff.
Maybe that's why he yells a lot. A British official says another giant fatberg has been found blocking a sewer in southwestern England. It's a mass of hardened fat, oil, and baby wipes measuring 210 feet long. Yes, it's going to take our sewer team, they say, about 8 weeks to dissect the monster in exceptionally challenging work conditions. In other words, you're going to be like Andy Dufresne. Crawled through a
river of shit and came out the other. I don't think they're going to come out clean on the other side.
No, I don't believe so either. He urged the public not to pour grease down the drain or flush baby wipes down the toilet, adding, "Don't feed the fatberg."
Wait a minute. Mm-hmm. We need to come up with some sort of mechanism that'll clean that out so people don't have to do that.
How about Drano?
Like a drone.
Don't they? They already have. Don't they have like remote
drilling
control
drone?
thingy-doos?
I don't know. Why don't they use that then?
I have no idea. Well, because then your sewer cleaners union to get pissed off.
Probably. You know, it's at the center of that fatberg. Everyone's writing their own joke here. I came up with a couple punchlines. I'll let you fill in your own.
Yes,
you know what's at the center of it? Michael Moore. You know what's at the center of it? Spotted Dick. You know what's at the center of it? Michael Moore with Spotted Dick.
Coming up in a second, would you go to a naked restaurant? But first, 80% of Americans between the ages of 30 and 54 believe they will not have enough saved for retirement.
What's the percentage?
80% of Americans between the ages of 30 and 54 believe they will not have enough saved for retirement.
That seems low to me.
It is. If you count yourself in that number, we have a number for you, and the number is 509-559-6229. You dial that number, and you will be talking to the experts at Era Capital Management.
I don't remember the number. Is there a better way or a more easy way to remember how to contact them?
Well, if you remember 50-95-59-6229.
I was thinking more like a website.
Or if you remembered 50-95-59-6229. Or if you remembered 509-55, just if you go to eracapitalmanagement.com, the number's there.
That's a great point. It's a great point. And by the way, if you contact them, they're not going to be, all right, the meter's running.
No.
They're not going to charge you when you contact them. No. They'll walk you through what they can do for you, and it's not going to cost you anything. Now, once you sign up with them, there is a service fee, but it's based on how well they do for you.
Yes.
As opposed to,
if you don't do well, they don't do well.
It's $20 a trade or something like that. You don't have to worry about that stuff. In fact, let him being Jacob at Era Capital Management, explain how it works, because he can do a better job than I can. Not just what they can offer, but also the systems he has in place. He walked me through, what is it where you can share a desktop where you can see what their
remote desktop. Where they He
walked me through so I could see everything in the models that he has put together, and it's awesome. So go to
models? Like naked models?
No, business models. Like investment models. EraCapitalManagement.com. Check them out today. If Brad's numbers are accurate, and I think they probably are.
Actually,
most of us know
are from a couple of years ago, and they could be even higher now.
They probably are. Do you have enough to retire on?
Oh, I do this for fun. Are you kidding?
See?
I do this every day just so I don't have to sit and count the $100 bills that keep falling out of the spare bedroom. I mean, it's getting so full in there, I don't know where to put the money.
Yeah, unless something happens miraculous happens in the next few years, I'm definitely not going to have anywhere near enough.
At least I have kids who'll put me in a good nurse. No, wait.
Before I answer if I have enough, I would just ask you, will there be dramatic changes to Social Security?
Yes.
In my favor.
No.
If there are not, then no, I will not have enough.
The dramatic change is that it will no longer exist.
Yeah, then I'm not going to have enough. No. EraCapitalManagement.com. You have an old 401k. Doesn't matter how much you have in savings right now or investments right now. 10,000, 1,000, 50, 100, a couple 100,000, a million. Let them walk through and show you what they can do for you. It's EraCapitalManagement.com. EraCapitalManagement.com.
Era Capital Management LLC is a registered investment advisor. Era Capital Management LLC provides fee-only portfolio management. The advisor may not transact business in states where it is not appropriately registered, excluded, or exempted from registration. Keep in mind that investing involves risk. The value of your investment will fluctuate over time, and you may gain or lose money. No strategy can assure success and is not guaranteed. That's EraCapitalManagement.com. Meanwhile, across the pond again, would you eat naked at a restaurant?
Again? Not after the soup incident.
I'm telling you what. Paris's first naked restaurant had to close down just 15 months after nobody was going.
That seems like a long run for a naked restaurant.
In the short run, yes. Au Naturel, located in the city's 12th arrondissement, will close its doors. Oh, you said in the French, and everybody will think you are very, very.
What was on the menu? What kind of restaurant?
I believe they had testudo.
Because if it's a spaghetti or soup place, that's going to be bad.
I believe they had the Castor Sack bourbon there.
Did they have sizzling fajitas? Because that's also going to be bad for you.
Mike and Stephanie are 42-year-old twins. They decided to open the nude restaurant despite not being nudists themselves. So they didn't see that's their mistake. They didn't understand the nudist lifestyle. Nobody wants, cheese sauce in their lap if you're naked.
Most people. Let's just say most people.
So diners would go in, they'd leave their clothes and their phones in a cloakroom after arriving and were given a pair of slippers to wear into the dining room. The women were told they could leave their heels on if they... Oh, naughty. You can wear your heels. Large white curtain over the windows kept people on the outside from looking inside.
Huh.
Okay, that's again where you put cameras in there and you put them behind a paywall online.
Right. There's your business model.
And then because you're going to get the naked people who don't give a crap if people see them eating naked online.
Okay, the mistake was you need an exhibitionist restaurant.
Yes.
Where the people wanted to be seen.
Or nudist, same thing.
Well, no, but they only want to be seen by other nudists, right?
Why are you asking me?
Isn't that the rule?
Hell, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of strange. I don't know why they don't.
Would you rather have clothes on or not have clothes on?
Right now?
Normally. And I'm not talking for any other purpose other than just comfort around the house.
Naked is better.
That's why I'm asking you about this.
Naked is better.
I don't like the naked. I'm cold, and
All right, just saying.
I like a certain comfort factor of
support.
Support. Thank you. That's the word.
Well, you don't have the pendulous problem that I do.
No, obviously I do.
Mm-hmm. No, you don't.
Because I want that support.
If only they'd gone to see Jemima Packington before they opened the restaurant. They would have known that it wasn't going to work.
Why?
Jemima Packington is a fortune teller who uses asparagus to predict the future.
How does she use asparagus?
She's made dozens of accurate predictions in recent years. This is in England, of course. She picks up a handful of tips.
Hey-o.
Tosses them into the air and reads the shapes they form when they land. One of her most remarkable predictions was that Gordon Brown would not only be ousted, but also leave politics completely after his election defeat back in 2010.
Come on.
Yeah.
The guy was a bit of a tool. Who couldn't have predicted that?
Well, there's that. So, 68, another interesting statistic for you. 68% of U.S. adults take dietary supplements as part of their daily routine. That's almost 7 out of 10. The smart ones, of course, find their supplements at therichsolution.com. Why there? Because if they don't, we hunt them down, we kill them like rabid dogs.
I don't think that's how it works.
They still shoot rabid dogs, right?
I think so.
Don't you? The Rich Solution, the only website where you'll find Gwen Rich's story of overcoming both cancer and a broken neck and being married to Adam. And her fight to regain her health as well. So to say that she and Adam did research is it's kind of like calling the Titanic a rowboat. Adam will research the crap out of anything. So they did copious amounts of research, and a lot of it too, to find out which supplements work best together so you get the most benefit from each and every one, and you'll find the Rich Adapt there as well. I'm going to
the adaptogens at therichsolution.com. That's therichsolution.com.
These are good.
Good deal.
Balance and get rid of stress. It is Wednesday, January 9th, 2019. Kate Middleton, speaking of Across the Pond, 36. Dave Matthews is 51. And J.K. Simmons is 63.
Who's that?
You know who he is. We are
Richard?
farmers. Dum, 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 dum.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yes. Everybody knows who he is.
All I can think about is Oz. Damn.
Yeah, see?
That was his first, real, wow.
Surprise.
When he was the white supremacist who just manhandled that guy in...
I need to go back. And, you know what? I tried to watch Oz.
He branded the guy?
It was in... I think it was in 4x3 or what?
I don't know.
Show I tried to watch, and it was so old that the format just drove me crazy.
It was disturbing.
In 1493, on this date, Columbus mistook manatees for...
Oh, no, not the mermaids.
Yes.
Damn, he was at sea a long time.
Damn, that mermaid. She's looking hot.
That fat gray thing with flippers.
Have you ever been up close to a manatee?
Yeah.
They are the most bizarre-looking creatures.
They don't look anything
outside of Michael Moore.
Man.
Maybe that's what's at the middle of a fatberg.
Oh, no, that's an ocean or at sea a long time.
Those, my friends, are your headline.
Get your communiques in via the social media platforms.
As Democrats take over the House, one thing should be extremely obvious. Republicans absolutely must vote in 2020. Stay home and we lose the Republic. Here's why. Democrats have made it abundantly clear that they want nothing more than to see President Donald Trump fail, even if it means harming our country in the process. Democrats know providing funding for the border wall that Trump campaigned on would benefit him in a 2020 re-election bid. Case in point, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senator Chuck Schumer aren't willing to budge on the border wall, but they are agreeable to spending tons of money elsewhere. Democrats voted late last week to give $12 billion more than Trump requested for international affairs programs, including money to fund abortions in foreign countries. In addition, Democrats gave $2 billion more than requested to the EPA and $7 billion more than requested for housing and urban development programs. But they couldn't put one red penny toward protecting the American people by allocating money for a border wall. Democrats are content with turning a blind eye to the seriousness of illegal border crossings, which include murders committed in the U.S. by illegals, like the one involving the death of Officer Singh, who was recently killed during a traffic stop. Instead of listening to statistics on the border crossings, Pelosi chose to interrupt DHS Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen during a border security meeting, telling Nielsen that, quote, "I reject your facts." That's what Democrats do best. Truth isn't something they want to acknowledge when it doesn't work in their favor. So when 2020 rolls around and you're asking yourself, should I vote? Just remember Pelosi's smiling face swinging her speaker's gavel while you suffer the consequences. And that's today's Reality Check with Susan Knowles.
Dating today with all the crazies out there has to be nuts.
Yes, it really would. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a place you could go to find people who think Like you do?
Like me, like libertarians and conservatives?
Right?
There is WeThePeople.dating.
Amazing. What a genius idea. This is a site that you can go to if you're single and you are looking for somebody who you know you're going to think the same way as for, from a political freedom standpoint. If you want to date the right person for you, you'll find them in one place. WeThePeople.dating.
Let's get a couple of communiques in now as Matt Locke of the Conservative Cartel pops in and joins us.
Let's see here. The free-range prisoner starting a voyeur restaurant for obese, ugly nudists. Going to spam stream video for free, and people will have to pay me for not seeing it. That's not a bad idea. J.K. Simmons was the best J. Jonah Jameson in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
He was amazing. He's a good actor with that stuff, a wide range. What is the one somebody said something happened the same time?
First, Lori D said anyone else just get dead air, and then B from the SCV happened at almost the same time last hour.
Well, it's iHeart. And I said that on the way in.
It's not Ron's poop?
I don't believe it's Ron. I had to restart the iHeart app this morning twice on the way in.
Well, there you go.
Because I Bluetooth it to my car.
Damn it, iHeart.
And it just went dead. I'm like, where'd they go? And I looked at my app and it had turned off.
Well.
So I restarted the app and back they were.
Well, there you go.
So I don't know if their app restarted by itself or what the deal.
DMXDM, my retirement plan, work until death. That's kind of mine, too.
Well, that's the life of a business owner, huh?
In DM, it isn't going to be long before I bring duct tape to the Tuesday board meetings. Now that I've heard what Doc Thompson does to me in the morning, I don't see. I take people for face value. And Doc says, hey, can you put 7-Eleven logo on that cooler? Yes.
Do you want an M&M?
Brad, can you put Nike's logo on it? Yes.
Do you want an M&M?
No.
You want an M?
Yeah, Doc used to look at me. Do you want an M?
Matt's always so polite about it, too. He's like, no, thank you.
I know. I'm so nice. I'm like, no, thank you. You know I don't.
You're what?
Fine, I'm nice. Hey, and I had one good idea yesterday. Remember that? I had one good idea. I'm done for 2019. I had one good.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't either, but I'm done.
Jeff Bezos says if he makes one or two good ideas a day or good decisions a day, that's all he has to do.
That's right.
So Matt and I hatched an evil little wonderful plan that is going to be so much good. It at very least will offer us some comedy fodder. Yeah,
yes.
Some. It's just a matter of how much, and may end up doing some good politically as well to get some ideas that we support. So we're talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez a couple of weeks ago, and we said, look at these knuckleheads that are already calling for her to run for president. She obviously is not constitutionally eligible, right?
I'm watching the speech. Right. I'm watching the speech last night, and there are people literally saying with the response of, I love, by the way, that Opelka shipped Nancy and Chuck. Chancey?
Oh, yeah.
I love, if you don't know what ship is, you got to look at it.
Chancey.
Did you not listen to the 2-minute drill?
Nancy. No,
yeah, he shipped them. He relationshiped them.
Yeah.
You know, Ron's daughter, when she introduced me to Ship.
Yeah.
But anyway, there were people on Twitter last night saying you should have let Ocasio-Cortez be the rebuttal.
Right.
Let her speak.
Right.
I mean, it's like they're begging for her now.
But the amazing thing is they know she's not constitutionally eligible. Some don't. But they keep pushing. She needs to run for president. She didn't even serve a day when they were saying this stuff.
Her voice needs to be heard.
Right. Because she's a millennial. Millennials are the largest voting bloc and all this. So I started thinking, what if she was on stage during the debates? Even if she wasn't constitutionally eligible.
Gold,
how much
Jerry.
Fun that would be.
Gold, Jerry, gold.
Right. And then I thought, we can get her on stage because who will deny her?
Nobody.
Yeah.
No one.
Again.
You think about it. Old, wrinkly, white men and women on stage. Warren, Clinton.
Who play
Biden.
identity politics.
Oh, Sanders, by the way, came out and rebutted Trump's speech last night. I don't know if you saw that. It was on Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean, you got these old, wrinkly, white people running the Democratic Party, and what are they going to do? You hit on it so well, Doc.
Right.
They're going to be like, well, it isn't going to hurt anything.
Right. So
we'll just entertain it.
What if somebody that wink, wink, supported her, meaning Matt and I and Brad, we launched the idea on social media that, and we're not going to do it yet, because we got to wait till we get closer to the debates.
It's got to be
end of the
strategic.
Year. Right. So
Don't run off with
Jack
this for
Holes,
us.
calm down.
Yeah, we're letting you in on the secret that's going to happen.
Well, the
slowly.
master plan.
Yes, over the next 6-8 months. So don't let the cat out of the bag. We don't want anybody to stumble across this. We just want you to enjoy the ride as we tell you about it in the future.
It's going to be magnificent.
So don't be careful with your tweets or social media posts. So we don't want to let people know. So what we'll do?
You just tell them to try to be quiet. You told Jack Holes to try to be quiet.
No, not to be quiet.
Not to be quiet.
No, just be careful.
No, not even be
they can
secret.
talk about it,
Yeah.
just don't make it obvious.
Right.
So,
and they're good at sarcasm
they'll do that. They'll
and
love it.
offhand
Yeah.
chatter and making fun of her. That's already there.
Right. So over the next couple of months, we'll strategically plant the seed.
Yes.
And then
watch it grow.
Right. Watch her people just start, oh my gosh, you're right. She should be on
Look at the ground
stage.
swell. Look at the ground swell. Her voice has to be heard.
Right. She has to be heard
Yes.
on stage. Even though she's not eligible, somebody needs to represent the people under 35
Yes,
is what they will say.
You preach it, Doc
Yes.
Thompson. Preacher man. Preach it, my brother.
We can at least make it a question where the media will start asking people like Nancy or
important people.
Elizabeth Warren and whoever else.
Well, what are your
should
thoughts?
she be on stage?
Yeah.
Right.
What are your thoughts, Elizabeth?
Now, knowing that the millennials are the largest voting bloc in America,
yes,
they cannot forsake them because that's also more their power base, the younger ones, right?
Yes.
So if you're Elizabeth Warren and they say, should Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez be allowed to be a part of the debates even though she will not be constitutionally eligible to be president?
Why not?
She would say, oh, wait a minute, bear trap. I can't forsake the, okay. Yes. Because what's it going to hurt? She doesn't actually challenge me.
Her voice should be heard.
Well, again,
we love millennials.
Right. I'm not saying one of my competitors should be on stage. She can't.
Right. She's not a competitor.
Right.
It's a no-brainer.
Yes.
It's how does it hurt me?
So then, once she's on stage, they will kiss
the
her
magic
ass.
happens. And you know what she's going to do? I mean, and we've talked about this. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is the nuclear bomb in the middle of the Democratic Party. Because I talked about it yesterday. Cuban here in Dallas, Mark Cuban, Whoopi Goldberg came out yesterday, and they're getting a little concerned. Yeah. They're starting to say, you need to be quiet.
She's too extreme.
She's too extreme, and she's going after her own party.
Right.
So she's not falling lockstep into the liberal narrative.
But the morons.
She's shining the light.
Right. But the problem is, it's too late. The horse is already out of the barn. So when you criticize her,
horse face.
All you do is give her more ammunition.
Oh,
see these old people? They're telling me to sit down in the back of the bus.
And that's what she'll do. She'll pull that card.
In other words, we will force them to go more extreme in what they say. And all that does is take them out of the center.
Well, it shines the light on what the liberal message really is. See, the Democratic Party's at a really weird place. The Democrats and the mainstream media have been talking about how the right is splintered.
Right.
How it's infighting, and they're not wrong. I mean, between the Tuesday group and the House Freedom Caucus and the moderates and, the Mitt Romneys and all, you've got several groups among the right that don't always come together. What have the Democrats always done as a party? They always circle the wagon. Yeah, they always circle the wagon. They get their talking points and they march forward. Well, now you've got this young millennial and she's like, oh, no. I'm going to do a sit-in Nancy Pelosi's office. I'm gonna be with the people. I'm gonna be furloughed and not take a paycheck. These politicians shouldn't take a paycheck while the government shut down. I mean, if you look at her, like you said, this publicity, this fame, it only energizes her. It only makes her bigger.
But imagine as they kiss her ass on stage, trying to suck up to the millennials. So when she spews ridiculous stuff, they not only will not be able to say anything negative, because she'll have free run to attack all of them.
All of them.
Right. And
you're old, you're out of step, you don't get what the younger people are saying,
you know
you're
what?
not connected.
You're right. That's what they have to do.
I know!
Right?
It's beautiful. When Doc approached me with this, I said, that might be the most genius thing you've ever thought of. Because it's beautiful.
don't tell him things
It's
like
a
that.
beautiful
His ego
mind,
is
Brad.
big enough.
You ever seen the movie Beautiful Mind?
Yeah.
It's what it is. It's like,
it's playing Puppet Master, and I
oh
love
my
it.
God, you just stumbled across something that's gigantic.
So here's what we need from the jackholes, without using a hashtag or anything like that, or explaining what we're talking about.
Some inferences.
Right. Give us a name for the operation.
Yes.
Do not use her name in it.
No.
I don't think we do that.
No.
Operation Dancer, somebody says.
Operation Tiny Dancer.
Right. Something like that.
Oh, it's a great
something
song.
so when we're on the air, we can just
Dancer.
throw that out there, and you'll know what we're
Dancing
talking
for
about. It'll be the dog whistle, right? That
It has
The
to be
historical dog
like,
whistle.
it has to be like a military strike,
Right.
like Operation Napalm, or
you were taking a little more serious than I was.
or
but
nuclear
okay.
suitcase.
Just took
Okay,
a
again,
dark
that's
turn.
wow. That's
It's like the bomb that's going to go off in the middle of the Democrat. It has to be big.
Underwear bomber.
Yes.
that might be
Keep
a
going. Keep going. Work through it. Work through it.
Okay, Doc. No. But you know what I mean? It has to be one of those surgical, strategic names that the left just doesn't get. They're like, what are these idiot people on the right talking about?
They don't even know.
Operation Napalm.
Right.
What are they talking about?
That way, when we in the coming weeks go or months say, all right, update on Operation whatever it is.
Yes.
We can say we planted the seed on a couple of social
Now
media
go.
sites. Right. And hey, we did this, and there's going to be a link out there, and follow this. We can do this, and you'll be in on it and helping and part of the ride.
Oh, yeah.
At that point, we'll go ahead and throw out a hashtag as part of the campaign, seemingly from the people who want her on stage, the leftists, right? The
Yes.
Her base. So we'll do that. But for now, we don't need that hashtag. We just need the name for it.
Yeah.
We'll kind of explore this.
Operation. See, it was their fault. The Jackals came out yesterday and said Operation. Operation Dancer. Operation Tiny Dancer. I don't know if it's the dancing because we could still be, credited back to this video, which was a joke anyway. But it needs to be something very nondescript that only
But
we
powerful.
know. But did you see the Twitter? Have you seen the Twitter feed now?
No.
JR15 says, no one has their heart on the pulse of progressive millennials like the 40-plus libertarian crowd.
We do, because we know they're cray-cray.
Yep.
I love it, by the way.
We could use maneuver as opposed to operation.
Oh, there you
task. I'm looking through the thesaurus.
Operation Moves Like Jagger.
Moves like Jagger.
Who sings that? Maroon 5, don't they? Yeah,
Sure.
I think so.
Sure.
Hey, I'm up on culture. Do you hear me talking
You mean
about
from 20 years ago?
Yeah,
Then you know it was Coldplay that did it.
Oh, it's Coldplay?
As far as you know.
I was talking the Grammys or the Oscars or the Golden Globes or whatever butt padding.
I know what these kids today want.
That's
Let
right.
me tell you what.
Get off my yard.
They want
That's
more
funny.
Coldplay.
Mm.
That's exactly what they
Who's
want.
Coldplay?
Let's see if we can come
Are
up
they
with
like hot play, like a hot plate or hot plate? No,
Let's see what we can. Let's see what we can come up with though for a name of this, and then we'll put it out there. We'll just go through social media.
So let's. What is the timeline? Because I want you to think about this for
I'll
a
lay it
second.
out there.
And I think we should. So we keep the jackholes in line and
Operation Anaconda?
Yes.
Operation Tiny Cobra.
Tiny Cobra. See, they're already on it. I love it. But if you think about it, did you see? Is it Julian Castro that it says he's going to run, or is it
Fidel?
No. One of the Castro brothers.
The joke never gets old.
I know.
Is it
Because he
Raul?
is. That's Raul.
They're the same.
Did you see he came out and said that not 70% taxes, 90%?
Well, that sounds
They're
reasonable.
going to out progressive each other.
Yes.
That's what they want to do.
We need the progressive movement, the socialist drive to burn itself out.
Oh, yeah. And it will.
You know what we're doing? We're clowered and pivoting,
Pivoting.
clowered and pivot strategy for the progressive ideas.
We're overwhelming
We're
the progressive
overwhelming
machine.
them with their own crap.
I love it.
Right.
So Operation Clowered and
Not to be confused with Ron's crap.
Operation Clowered and Piven.
That's already been.
Well, they wouldn't know. The left would be like, oh, we know that. We're socialists. We love rules for radicals in Clowered and Piven.
Operation Pavok.
Pavok.
No, that wouldn't be that.
How about
CPA?
Clavin? Operation
AOC.
Clavin, like Cliff Clavin? Operation Cliff Clavin. There
Clap.
it is.
Operation the Clap.
The clap. Yes. See, you got to think about that. But it's funny.
Was that Ron? Who said Operation One Eye?
Operation. Oh, is that like, what was the James Bond movie? GoldenEye. Operation GoldenEye.
Octopussy.
Octopussy. Yes, Octopussy.
Okay, Brad is not allowed to come up with any more because we're talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and he comes up with obviously the ones that are...
Beaver secretion.
See,
Beaver secretion.
He's thinking about a different type of operation with her.
Am I?
Operation Muff Dive.
Brad's like,
there we
Operation I go to New York and bang AOC. Operation See Her Naked. Operation Check Out Her Golden Globes. Operation Fondle Her Beaver Sack.
Secretions.
Yeah, they call it innuendo for a reason. I mean, otherwise it's just out and out harassment.
Operation Harass.
She wants to dance like Uma Thurman.
In what you call it?
Uma Thurman is
Kill
a
Bill.
freaky woman. Kill Bill. Remember, she was in what was the movie she was in? It was several years back, where the guy at the end.
Well, don't give it away.
Well, it's an old
I know, but don't
movie.
spoiler alert. Maybe I haven't seen it.
Spoiler alert. But in the end, he wins the lottery because he had went back in time and left his numbers in the bottom of the birdcage. Do you remember that movie?
Oh, yeah, Numbers.
Uma Thurman was in it.
Where the weatherman fixes the lottery at the station with the
And the girl gets pregnant at the end.
Yes.
That's the one.
So. But
Yeah.
Uma Thurman was she's kind of
It's none of
eerily
those we made.
she's eerily creepy in a lot of ways. Like
She has a thyroid issue with her eyes.
All right, so here's the timeline.
All right.
The timeline is in the coming couple of months. We got some time here because our goal is to have her on stage during the debates.
Yes, which will be probably another year. Probably January of next year. They'll probably start debates.
I think they'll be at the
they're
end of
doing
this year.
12 debates on the Democratic
look up
side.
and see if they've already said how many.
There's 12 debates for the Democrats is what they've said. 12.
I think they start at the end of this year.
You could be right. I mean, it could be a year out. I mean, obviously November's 12
Because
months.
remember, the
may do one a month.
primaries, right? The primaries start as early as
Oh,
February,
that's
January,
true.
February.
Do you have a debate schedule?
So
you're right.
Oh, sorry, this is Nigeria.
Oh, geez.
So that would mean theoretically the end of this year. If that's the case,
you would have to, yeah. And then they'll whittle it down as the primaries go on. Right.
So
but she could be on all of them because she's not running.
There it is. So we have some time to get our little ducks in a row. A lot of time.
June of this year.
Democrats to start presidential primary
See what I'm
debates
saying?
in June
Of this year.
Of 2019.
of 2019.
See what I'm saying?
We have
So
6 months.
we're literally 6 months away.
Right.
Wow.
So
From gold.
we need the groundswell and the push for this really needs to happen probably May, June, later than sooner, because you want to get it a little closer so they don't have time to weasel out.
Right.
If this announcement goes now, they'll figure out ways
fizzle.
to right. They'll have somebody else be the bad guy, not Elizabeth Warren. I wanted her on stage, but the commission said she couldn't.
And you need this to crescendo at about mid-June, about a month before.
Well,
Because
it'll be in June, so this needs to be a month out, maybe May.
okay.
So you want it close enough where they cannot find an out to say no.
That's right. They can't
but
weasel
enough
out.
time to get it
build.
done.
Right,
done.
to build.
So what we'll do in the next couple of months, we'll start on Reddit and some other places, planting these seeds in little communities of people who support her.
Yeah.
Come up with the hashtag, and then we'll get everybody to just start tweeting this stuff out and get that. And all it has to be, listen, I got to believe if they come to her and say, they want you on stage, whatever, she'd be a part of it.
Oh, in a heartbeat. She'd be like, oh, what? Me? You? Oh,
Right.
You want me on stage?
And she should. If I was her advisor and I said, for her building her brand, she will be able to say nothing wrong.
Oh,
because
no.
they cannot, no matter what she says, they cannot question her on it.
Operation Shallow Waters.
Operation
you,
Blue
Dan.
Machete.
Operation Muffin
Blue
Butter.
Waffle.
Operation
Muffin
Kill
butter.
Bill.
So anyways, let's see here. It is January 9th, unless you're listening to podcast.
Yeah.
By the end of the month, we'll go ahead and start posting this on social media sites just to get the idea out, use the hashtag.
Well-
and then probably March-ish, we start the push.
Yeah, and if all goes well, we get a hold of our people that have big Twitter and Facebook accounts, and we say, hey,
Right.
drop this. Just go ahead and drop it and let it simmer there for
See,
a little bit.
We want the
we wanted to kind of bubble under without going mainstream for a couple of months because it's got to reach her and her people.
It's got to be grassroots.
Right, exactly. Right. So you get that bubbling under for about a month and a half, 2 months, and then we put the big push, like does this to go mainstream, about May 1st.
Yeah, right before we start the tour.
Right. So about May 1st. That's our money right there.
Yeah. Melissa, I'm not the dirty old uncle. I am not an uncle.
You're a dirty old uncle?
I'm me.
She will be able to, if she's on stage, say anything she wants about them, and they will have to either take it or agree with her.
And the amazing thing is she will do the work that the mainstream media won't.
Right.
She and because these debates are set up to be a beauty pageant. They're set up to be, look at us. How do we want to give more money to the homeless, to the people who can't, the welfare state? How can we go after the greedy, evil 1%, the rich, the corporations? And she's going to be that little stick of dynamite.
Well, because she holds them accountable when they are not consistent.
Exactly.
So, for example, today it's in the news, Chuck Schumer out there beating the president up, and he hates immigrants and so on and so forth. And we've all heard the clip reminding us that 10 years ago, he said the same things.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So this is what he did. That's the type of thing, just to give you a current example of what she would do.
Mm-hmm.
She would say, oh, great, Chuck, if Chuck was on stage, immigration, but how come you used to blah, 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 and it's nice that you see, and he has to stand there and take it.
Oh, yeah, they cannot, and that's the
so
thing. They
she
can't
will do our job.
Exactly.
I can't be on stage.
Right.
I wish I could.
God, that would be fantastic.
That'd be great.
By the way.
Where I just objected to everything.
Right.
But she will object to the extremists where they're not. She means it the other way. You're not being consistent.
Well, you're not being progressive enough.
Meaning you're not consistent.
Right.
So she will call out some of their hypocrisies. Mwah.
Well, and the really nice thing about all of this is she is pushing this new Green Deal. The left wants that to go shh, because they know. I mean, the higher ups in the party of the left know that this is a great big wealth grab.
Right.
They know it's a redistribution. They know that you have to, over time, grow that you have to go slow because people won't take this all at once. They're not going to take going back. There it is. There it is. See, I'm an innuendo walking machine.
Yes, you are.
But you have to gradually implement this, and the Democratic Party knows. What do the millennials, and we talk about this all the time, they're a microwave society. They believe that their generation wants it now.
Right.
Go. 70%.
I want it now.
Oh, well,
who doesn't want it now?
I mean, hot and fresh and now.
Thank you.
There you go. But that's what she's going to do. She's the accelerator on their progressive.
Yep.
She's the what?
The accelerator.
I like the way you said it the first time.
She's the accelerator. Mm-hmm. On their progressive electric car.
This will be good.
Run by coal.
Then imagine the media when she's on stage.
We'll eat it up.
Asking her the question, they're like, well, she... And anybody who dare to say otherwise will be an outcast.
Oh, you'll be sexist.
Right. This will be they all will have to pretend that the emperor has clothes.
Oh, yes. And she doesn't.
The media will gobble up Operation Beaver Secretions.
Yep. Yep.
Just saying.
You're not wrong.
You know, that
it
is
will
BS.
Just
beaver secretions.
If we do this right, it will be one of the most colossal, amazing nuclear bombs in the middle of the Democrat Party you've ever seen, because they're going to be in a civil war. This whole having 40 candidates, all these different, I mean, it is going to be a battle royal of the Me Too, racist, sexist, minority. If you don't have beaver secretions crowd, you don't fit in.
So imagine, and we don't know what else will happen with this. What other moments or opportunities will avail themselves? Like, imagine somebody like Trump, who is a plain speaker and goes, really? This is where we, and exposes the emperor for not having new clothes, or exposes this thing they're all, going along with.
Yes. Yeah.
We can catch so many people up in this bear trap.
It'll be fun.
So anyways, it's coming. So if you have any names, just put those out there for us. Any other suggestions, if there's anything you've forgotten or
there's
missed?
none. There's none out there.
Well, some people have said, what if
the demand is so high that they changed the Constitution where she could actually run that.
Oh, yes.
Guys, you would have to get 3/4 states to ratify, and there are just too many of them run by the right.
Never going to happen. Exactly. That's the worst case scenario, but that literally would be Armageddon. We would be over. And we're kind of heading that way if we don't turn around anyway, but to get 75% of the states
to ratify
would be no way.
Not going to happen.
Operation Short Bus.
Jeff Westbrook, we all know how to keep a secret. Just shh.
Okay, cool. So get us the name.
It's not like it's national radio or anything. All over the country.
Yeah, but the people who are listening understand.
You know who'll love this?
Michael Pelka.
Lots of people will like it, but I was thinking in particular Patriot Mobile.
Yeah, they would.
Because this is really Patriot Mobile, right?
Business of information dissemination.
Dissemination, and how did they come into existence?
Well, they
realizing the manipulation that's out there and saying they are going to start a business that does some good to fight that manipulation and also makes them some money. Because it was Credo Mobile. Did you hear yesterday that we found out that in 2007 there was a Planned Parenthood
wireless,
right?
Isn't that wild?
No, it's not. I mean, it did not surprise me at all.
But who knew?
I did not know. I will give you that.
Have you seen the picture of Doc at patriotmobile.com/Doc?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
Is it an awful picture?
You never go. Oh, no.
Is it him in the shower?
Hold on. It's a beautiful picture.
Now, I did see. Have you seen the new ads that are going up here around SHOT Show with you?
No.
I mean, you are a pretty man.
Look at that. Is that not a beautiful human being?
What a stud.
Let me see that.
I mean, look at that stud.
I've never seen a better-looking 20-year-old in my life.
Look at that guy from 40 years ago. I mean, look at that. Man, you were attractive.
They'll wave at your activation fee. They'll wave as it goes by.
I want you to know that picture where I look so much younger.
Yes.
Was 20 years ago?
Was 4 days ago.
Oh.
It was taken 4 days ago.
You need to suck down a whole bottle of adaptogens.
You need Nancy Pelosi's.
It was 20 minutes ago.
Plastic surgeon. I mean, her face was so tight it looked like cellophane wrap.
Every time she sits down, her mouth opens. Hey-ho. PatriotMobile.com/doc. Sign up for an account today. They do great work. First of all, you're going to get amazing coverage, and it's going to probably save you money. They have such great deals. It'll save you money with amazing coverage. What are you waiting for? A little bit of the money that they take in profits every month goes to the conservative things and causes and candidates like you like and support.
You're saving puppies. If you don't get a Patriot Mobile line, puppies are going to die.
Yes.
Brad, I think it's worse than that.
Is it?
I think if you don't sign up for one, that we will have compromised security at the airports.
Yes.
Prescriptions may end up not being safe.
4 ounces.
And people will lose their homes.
4 ounces of contact solution will get through.
Did you notice that when CNN had the story of TSA up on screen, they had the TSA officers' faces blurred?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody else's but theirs.
Because why?
I don't
You can't just see them when you go into the airport?
Right.
Sign up for an account today. It's patriotmobile.com/doc. Patriotmobile.com/doc or 800-A-PATRIOT. They do a great job, and you'll be helping us out as well if you sign up for an account today.
Regitrek over on the Twitter, Operation Scorpion, because it's their nature.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
I like that, too. That's just bitey enough. It's stingy.
Jackhole, Angry
Bitchy
Beaver.
Scorpions, ignorant scorpion, dumb progressive scorpion, socialist scorpion.
I don't think you have to explain it all.
Like Scorpion Switchback.
Why not just operate? What's wrong with just Operation Scorpion?
It's not
I
enough.
also want it to be more cutting and biting.
It's not enough.
It's not a sting. That doesn't have the suitcase full of a nuclear material.
Did you just say a scorpion's not a sting?
No. I said no, it needs to be a sting.
Well, that's what a scorpion is. Jackhole, Angry Beaver says, I feel like I'm being thrown around a lot today.
Does she like it?
I think we've been
because of the show, or
we've been a little hard on the beaver today.
Hard on the beaver.
What?
Come on, June. Come on, Lord. Don't be so hard on the beaver.
Operation Insane. What the hell does that say? Insanus Oculus May. Oh, peekaboo. It must be Latin.
Yeah, what's it mean? Go.
Oh,
go work it out. Go.
Come on.
It's
go.
Operation Shallow Scorpion.
Go. No, what's the give me the Latin. Go.
It's the incandescent light bulb.
Go.
No, it's there. No, it's beaver.
Come on, work it out. Go.
I'll be in the back studying.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Busy day ahead for President Trump, continuing to push for tougher border security, including a wall, while at the same time dealing with the partial government shutdown. Correspondent Molly Hines says later today Mr. Trump will pay a visit to Capitol Hill.
The president plans to attend the Senate's weekly Republican luncheon to sell the idea of declaring a national emergency. With the shutdown now in its third week and no sign of ending, a number of Republicans believe that provides the best way of ending the shutdown without appearing to buckle to Democrats. Others, though, are suggesting it runs the risk of triggering a nasty legal fight over the extent of presidential powers.
The president will also be hosting congressional leaders at the White House for more talks. In last night's nationwide address, Mr. Trump compared a border wall with other kinds of barriers.
Some have suggested a barrier is immoral. Then why do wealthy politicians build walls, fences, and gates around their homes? They don't build walls because they hate the people on the outside, but because they love the people on the inside.
And Democrats who not that long ago supported a wall are now unconvinced, calling the president's proposed barrier
ineffective, unnecessary border wall.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who, along with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, delivered a Democrat response to the president's Oval Office address. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, the man who appointed Special Counsel Robert Mueller, reportedly planning to leave the Justice Department in the coming weeks after a new Attorney General is confirmed. Los Angeles public school teachers could strike for the first time in several decades. Their union says 35,000 teachers may walk off the job tomorrow in the absence of a deal on higher pay and smaller class sizes. Wall Street, Dow futures up 132 points, S&P futures 12 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Take the pain out of ordering your diabetic testing supplies with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to you when you need them. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive is so convinced that you'll love their service, they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code DOC, D-O-C, at checkout. Diathrive.com. That's DIA Thrive.com.
You cannot retreat to your safe spaces. There are no therapy poodles allowed when facing the truth. And that's just how we like it. Straight, hard-hitting, conservatarian truth. On the rocks. No chaser. No marches. No protest. Only small, limited government, constitutional conversations. Exclusively on MoJo 50. We get into foreign policy. We get into national politics. We get into constitutional, libertarian, conservative ideology. We put the brakes on the media spin by destroying the lies, dismantling the narratives, and bringing you the stone-cold hard truth. Every weekend on MoJo 50. Join me, Adrian Slade, for a raging hour-long discussion, deconstructing the headlines and delivering you the entire full story. Only on MoJo 50. Live free.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American made and serve those who serve us, our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com, use promo code DOC, and get 15% off your purchase. That's neverforgottenapparel.com.
The mothership has landed.
New lineup here on MoJo 50 as of last Monday. So Matt Locke and the Conservative Cartel will be coming up 1 hour from right now.
It's just 2 days ago.
Last Monday.
2 days ago.
Yeah, last Monday.
Last Monday would be Monday last week.
What was the last Monday?
2 days ago.
Right, so last Monday.
2 days ago. Just saying.
Was I inaccurate in what I said?
Was I?
If we read it back in a court of law, last Monday, would it be inaccurate, non-factual?
In front of any judges I've been in front of, you'd win.
Just because
Just
you were
because
on the
I'm
other
there.
side of it. Got you. New lineup. So you got the Conservative Cartel coming up 1 hour from right now, 11 to 1 Eastern time. Brandon Morris has expanded his broadcast to 2 hours daily from 1 to 3 Eastern time. To be announced, 3 to 5. Oh, we already announced that. Sam Sorbo joining us right around the first of the month, so just a few weeks from right now. We've got Jeremy Hansen Unleashed from 5 to 7, and then the Rants of Izzo from 7 to 9.
By the way, Mr. Izzo used the hashtag What I Learned Today. He couldn't figure out why people weren't seeing his tweets yesterday. He was tweeting at us all day, but he didn't use the hashtag. So
we don't
they didn't
always
run
see
through
him.
the filter. So
I got you.
I wasn't ignoring you.
Well, we don't see as many as we would like to, just because we're busy as well.
Right? Yes,
I was ignoring you.
We don't
That's
have
a
enough
different
time
story.
for you and your rants.
And then Stephen Airy and the Defenders, or whatever that combination of words are. They got them out of order at 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Eastern, yeah, all times Eastern.
Coming up Monday, a brand new show at midnight. Coming up next Monday, not last Monday, but next Monday.
Okay.
Each and every weeknight at midnight, the Situation Room with Rocky Stucci. And this is Rocky and his connections exposing the deep state each and every night.
He'll be doing it exposed.
He will be doing it exposed.
Naked
So,
from an underground bunker.
there's the information that he has and he's been preparing for. Will shine the light on the cockroaches that hide underneath the government's refrigerator.
That's a good way of putting it. There are a lot
The
of them.
refrigerator that is government.
Yes. That's
coming up Monday. You'll want to make sure to check that out as well. All right. So apparently, and did you have a communication?
I
you were
did,
gonna get to?
actually,
Yeah.
because Jack Hole Spunky Trucker brought up a good point. Can anyone name 10 Republicans in the Congress who are on TV fighting for the wall?
Can I name one?
Exactly.
I'm
telling you, if you think about the fact that this president, and again, full disclosure, didn't vote for him, the things he has gotten accomplished with little to no support from either side.
I mean, I want to say Lindsey Graham has said some things, but fighting
no.
for it?
Yeah, no.
The best I see is a handful of people that are defending it.
Yeah. Yeah, but nobody comes out and says the president is right. No one wants
Right,
to
they've not
attach-
made it their campaign.
No one wants to hitch their wagon to his horse, or the little post thingy that you tie a horse off to.
It's called a post, hitching post. That's what it is.
Whatever. No, it's a horse tie-up thing.
Okay. All right. So moving on. Apparently, the syringes found in the man's rectum did not belong to him.
Rectum.
Well, it was syringes.
You know, they don't come out as well as they go in.
Mm-hmm.
So they weren't his.
Well, no, they were. He
They
just
were
said
his.
they weren't his.
Well, if he said, you calling him a liar now? Just because he had syringes in his
Well,
rectum?
I'll share the story, and you can find out. A warrant was out for 40-year-old Wesley Dasher Scott.
You mean of the
Dasher Scott.
East Bridge, Western
Yeah.
Dasher
It
Scott.
was a drug charge. Deputies took him into custody on January 4th, so last week, around 4:30 in the morning. During his strip search, deputies with the Pinellas County, that would be Florida, Sheriff's Office, said he gently removed 3 syringes from his rectum and then handed them to them.
Oh, no.
Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
What am I to do with this?
Yes.
What am I?
No. Hopefully the cops are wearing their gloves or just said no thank you.
See, I don't want to be handed a syringe that was in his pocket.
No.
Let alone his ass.
No. Were they empty?
That information was not disclosed.
Why is a person...
Where else are you going to keep syringes at 4:30 in the morning?
Maybe your pocket? I don't know.
Oh, and get stabbed with them?
Right. Well, if they have the little covers on them.
Well, you don't know. They may pop off. It may come loose. Do you want to take the risk that you would stab a cop as he pats you down? No, you need those in a secure location.
Oh, man. That just... So either going in or coming out, they were not comfortable. One of the two. You can't have it both ways.
Can you think of a more secure location?
No.
Thank you.
Not that
There
I-
it is.
not that I
Pretty
can say on
secure.
the air.
So when he handed them to the officer, he said, these are mine. Those are mine.
I have no idea how they got there.
He didn't say that.
Just they're not mine. Well, okay, so he may not be lying.
They may not be his.
That's absolutely correct.
And he may know how they got there, or he may not know how they got there.
That's absolutely correct.
They could both not be his, and he may not know how they got there.
That's absolutely correct.
Officer, you're doing that. Wait a minute. Hang on. During that strip search, I noticed. Whoa. That's not mine. Wait a minute. Whoa.
How that hurts.
Hold on a second. There's a third one.
Things are a pain in the ass, is what they are. Yes, it's not a good thing. Wow.
Got to give it to him, though.
I think they already did. Hell.
For you got to say it, even though you know they're not going to believe you. Whether it's true or not, you still have to say,
they're not mine.
They're not mine. I don't know how it got there. 1,000,000 to 1 shot. I tripped and fell. It was on the bed. I jumped. It went up there.
Didn't somebody else not too long ago say the same thing about something that was found in their butt?
That was our the year in your rear review of 2018.
Right. Hashtag what's in your rectum.
Right.
It's not.
Remember the guy who just jumped on the bed and it went up there?
Yeah. It was a pen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The pen is up there.
The amazing thing was he jumped on it and it went up there without lacerating his intestines at all.
Which means, the pen, you mean? Yeah. Which leads me to believe they were capped.
Even so, I mean, that is a perfect precision strike there, right?
Well, a pen is tapered right there at the end, so it is possible.
So, folks, I offer this to you today. I'm driving to work, been fighting with your spouse. The boss has been giving you the business. I know what those things are like. Lots of us do.
Yeah.
Maybe you've put on some pounds during the holidays. Whatever it is, you're not happy today, and you're like, my life sucks. My life sucks. I want you to pause for a moment and realize that Wesley Dasher Scott was arrested at 4:30 in the morning. And when arrested, had to remove 3 syringes from his ass and hand them to a cop.
So you don't have it so bad, no matter what you're doing today.
Isn't that really hitting bottom?
If you're quite. How? Okay, another question. Why did he remove them? How did they know they were in there?
Well, he was going to go to jail.
So he was at the police station.
Yeah, they were arresting him.
Oh, okay.
It was during the strip search.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So they did the whole cavity search.
No, it's just they were strip searching. Doesn't mean they necessarily went that in depth.
So he's a dumbass in addition to being a dumbass.
No.
Well, why would he pull them out?
Because he is an upstanding citizen and didn't want to violate the law by introducing contraband into a secure facility.
Right. You know, that's got to suck.
Although,
if you're in.
Isn't that really? By putting the syringes in there, aren't you introducing contraband to a secure facility? You would be in my ass anyways.
That's why if you're a drug addict in prison, that would, sucks to be a drug addict to begin with, but knowing that any needles that you got in there came out of somebody's butt and you're using them.
What about the detox?
Ooh. Ugh. Man, prison just does. I don't care what they say. Prison does not sound like that much fun.
It does not, really. When you start thinking about it.
It does not sound like a great place to go.
I mean, at first glance, you're like, meh. But then you're like, wow, that would
3
really
hots in a cot?
suck.
Yeah.
So to speak. And
yes, it would. Quite often when you don't want to.
Huh.
It'd be like being married.
So let me ask you something. You have to store,
ironically,
for a short period of time, 3 syringes.
Okay.
For a friend.
All right.
Maybe a day or so. You got to store those.
Yeah.
For a full day. You don't know what's in them.
Right.
Caps on going in, but that could change in an instant.
It's true.
You start moving around.
Yeah.
You have to store that for a day. Or door number 2. Which I believe deserves a bell. Shockingly, that first scenario is door number 1.
Yeah.
Door number 2, the mystery door.
Death by Oingo Boingo.
Okay, I'll tell you what's behind door number. Let's open door number 2. Right. Door number 2 is drink a cup of Chicago gutter water.
Oh, damn it. No, I can. No, if I just think
Quarter
about
cup. Which one?
If I think about something else.
It had that rainbow sheen on the top.
You know what? If I put gum in my mouth, maybe I won't think about it.
So which one? You taking 1 or 2?
Oh God!
You're taking the syringes, aren't you? Because I don't think you could get it down. Syringes? It's syringes, isn't it?
You're risking death either way. I think I would take the syringe.
That's what I'm saying.
Ah. Wow. I hate that feeling. I don't think I've ever liked you. This is
in case you missed it, last May.
We don't have to tell the same story again. No.
I'm just gonna lay it out there. You don't have to listen.
Oh, good.
Last May we were in Chicago and we walked down the street and it had been raining and there was this like used motor oil looking river of slime in the gutter on the side of the road there, just kind of streaming down. And Chef Patrick and me and Brad and Tom and who else was there with us? Is that it? Oh, Paul.
Yeah. No, he wasn't walking. It may have been.
Anyway, we're walking. We started, someone mentioned drinking a cup of that. And before we know it, got such an in-depth conversation about how disgusting it was. Brad was becoming physically ill. And once I realized that makes him ill, of course, it's got to be a regular conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just going to store a trash can next to the desk.
Hey, what happened to the gun in here?
I don't know. What happened to it?
It was your gun.
Uh-huh.
Did you take
just
it
going
home?
to leave a gun laying around?
You did forever. Where is it now? Did you take it home?
I did. I can bring it back. I may have several on me. I may have one concealed right now.
I like the one that's just displayed out here, though. I think it gives us a certain
sense of security.
No, I was going to say je ne sais quoi on the air.
Don't be speaking Spanish in here.
It gives us a certain bravado. How about that?
That's better. How about that bad boy?
What is that?
That is an FN America M249S.
I'll say you're effing America with that.
Effing America right there. You are effing America right in the. That is a cool looking. I'm just going to tweet a little link to that. That thing is.
What do you call those legs in the front? Is that
legs?
Is it?
So it's just a support for the front of the gun.
Well, I mean, know what it is. I'm just saying, do those have official? It's got to have a name.
It's probably just like a tripod.
Maybe it is. Although that's just a dual pod, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. It's only got two legs. Maybe that may be what it's called. I actually have used one of those before. Now my mouth is watering. Damn it, I hate you. Wow. And you can save $500 on this. It's a really cool. If you're into, just the cool looking rifles. This is pretty badass. It's at TRAguns.com, which, by the way, happens to stand for Tar River Arms. TarRiverArms.com.
When I think of a tar river, a river of tar.
River of tar.
Kind of a black river of liquid just flowing with a rainbow sheen on the top.
Nope. You don't need to do that. No, I'm already looking at guns.
Okay, gotcha. What is their deal? What are some of the deals they have going on? Tar River Arms has revolutionized the way you purchase firearms online.
This 3D view of these guns is just so cool because you can see literally every angle of the gun, and they're so high res that you can see dust on them. You can see if they haven't been cleaning the outside of the gun or not. But you can get incredible deals right now at Tar River Arms. Right there on their front page at TRAguns.com, you will find everything that is on sale on the site, and you will find incredible values. And the spinning no, it's a SIG. That's a one guy. I don't have a SIG, and I've always wanted to get a 6-hour. They're just really cool weapons and a very dependable weapon.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, that's what Fox Mulder used to carry on the X-Files as his backup gun. I think it was a P265. Carried it in his ankle holster. There's a P365 9mm on Tar River Arms website at TRAguns.com, and the prices are really incredible. First of all, it's veteran-owned, number one. Number two, they are incredible customer service, and the prices are absolutely amazing as well. Plus, what are there like lately? Let me see here if you get the transfer fee. They had it listed right there on the front. I'm not sure what the latest deals are.
Just go to Tar River Arms at TRAguns.com. TRAguns.com. In most cases, they'll take care of the transfer fees for you as well. So you don't have to pay that because that can get a little bit pricey as they ship to your local FFL. And the free shipping as well. So why not? TRAguns.com. They're doing quite well, and that is because they offer such great deals. Yeah. You're going to get amazing prices, great customer service. It's a place to go. TRAguns.com.
And one of these Springfield Armories, these concealed carry pistols are just amazing. TRAguns.com.
We need the official TRA Guns gun in studio here. One that's mounted on the desk here.
Mounted under the desk. No, I guess we probably would want it mounted on. Although, you want it under or on?
How about both? Why do we have to choose?
That's true. I'm just thinking from a safety standpoint, if we were ever to be stormed by the opposition, you don't want the weapon sitting there. You want it here underneath the desk where you can.
James Bond style, something like that.
Yeah.
How about the TRA guns stockpile? Why do we need that many guns?
That's true.
Because we want them.
That's right. And we
can.
We do need one on the maybe on the back wall like an AR.
We should.
An AR.
We definitely need an AR on the back.
Just to
trigger people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good move. Hey, you know what triggered me yesterday was Tom Steyer. You know who Tom Steyer is?
I don't know Tom Steyer.
Tom Steyer is a California billionaire, and the guy is cuckoo. He is crazy.
With money comes crazy.
This guy was a hedge fund manager who made billions and billions of dollars for himself, and he is a progressive. Again, how in the world can you be a rich progressive? If you follow the crap they say, what their platform is, because progressivism is a form of socialism. It just is.
Right. Well, they've already got there, so they don't care what happens next.
Right. If you follow what they supposedly believe, you cannot be the fat, rich progressive that Michael Moore is, for example, or Tom Steyer, at least the rich one.
Right.
You can't be unless there's something else to progressivism. And it's not really what they say, which we've exposed many times.
Mm-hmm.
They claim about this thriving middle class and all of this. That is not the case.
No.
We just want, I'm willing to give more money, so the government needs to pass laws to force me to give more money. You know, you can just give. They want other people to give money.
If you're forced to give, it's not donations. That's a fee or a tax.
Statism. Ideas so good they must be forced on you.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So Tom Steyer, a billionaire who gave about $120 million to Democrat candidates during the last election cycles, last couple election cycles, out of his own pocket.
Mm-hmm.
The guy has decided to give half of his wealth to charity.
Mm-hmm.
He's a multi-billionaire. He's going to give half of his wealth to charity, folks.
Good for him.
He could give 99% of his wealth to charity and live greater than 99.9% of people that have ever walked this earth.
Mm-hmm. But he deserves kudos for giving to charity.
No, I don't think he does.
Why?
Not when you're the progressive and spew a bunch of crap. It's nice that you do, but I'm calling you out, Tom. And you sit here and you defend yourself. Otherwise, you're just running. You are what I have claimed you to be.
Well, it also depends on what charities, I guess. If it's,
a lot of green agendas.
Yeah. Somebody has to love the planet.
No, I'm serious. Well, the reason I bring this up, Tom Steyer has been that active, and Tom Steyer is going to be in Iowa very soon to speechify.
Oh, good.
In fact, I think he's there today or tomorrow.
Who's he talking for?
I mean, he's just, talking about politics and stuff randomly in Iowa.
He's just a nice guy, likes to talk to people.
I mean, who wouldn't want to travel to Iowa to have a conversation?
I wonder what's happening in Iowa.
Yeah, he is likely running for president.
Wow.
Maybe not. Maybe he's going to support others, but I think he is. Tom Steyer has, this is going to shock you, a gargantuan ego. Huge.
It does come as a shock
ego.
that someone who'd like to get up and talk to people and has $1 gazillion would have an ego.
He has a video out right now that he's pushing online that is called 5 Rights.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what you have a right to.
These are not 5 rights that you already have laid out in the Constitution. 5 rights that he believes we need to push for and support. This video is only about 1.5 minutes long, and he lays out some of those rights.
Mm-hmm.
And this sounds to me an awful lot like a campaign commercial, but okay, here we go.
I grew up believing the point of our country was to be free. The promise that everyone could make a good life for themselves. But
everybody.
Wait a minute. The point of our country is to be free.
That's right.
Then why do you want more government control? That means less freedom. Do you see automatically the fundamental breakdown in
government's
concepts?
helping you be free.
Okay. He goes on to say why we're not free.
I grew up believing the point of our country was to be free. The promise that everyone could make a good life for themselves. But over time, I saw big corporations buy our democracy and set the rules for the sake of their profits.
Folks, Tom Steyer has used hundreds of millions of dollars to buy what he wants.
Yeah.
Now, he may think he's buying progressive ideas and that's the right way forward. No, sorry, that's not consistent.
No.
You're still buying government.
Yeah.
You, as the have, are buying influence that I cannot and will never have.
That's correct. He doesn't see that, but yes.
That's 15 seconds in to his commercial.
At least he's
Tom,
telling you who he is.
Explain that. Sorry, it does not work for you to see. The only possible explanation you could have is to say, well, but I'm using my money for good to fight those corporations. It doesn't matter. I, as an American citizen, feel differently than you do. You're using it's his company money. He could say corporate America, but he got his money as a hedge fund manager. It's a company that he founded. So whether it's that actual company's money or the money made by that company, the concept is still the same, that he's using the money he made on Wall Street with investments to influence government, to buy influence against something I would want.
You know, the difference in his mind between you and him. You're wrong. That's it.
I was going better looking, but okay.
Democracy. And set the rules for the sake of their profits, not for the common good.
See, is that the difference? That those corporations are for profits, not the common good?
So when he was a hedge fund manager, I'm sure that he was managing all of those funds for the common good, not for profits.
He oh my gosh, I was just out there doing good.
Right.
And at the end of my run at that hedge fund company,
tripped into a big pile of money.
I did. I looked at my bank account and somebody just donated all this money.
Yeah.
Maybe it was government that did that.
Yeah. It happens.
That seems
I mean, how often do you trip into a pile of money? It happens to me every day.
Disingenuous, but okay.
Yeah.
Corporate lobbyists rigged the system, leaving the majority of Americans walled off from their dreams.
Oh, little shot across.
You think that's what it was?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
We need to turn this around. We need
Cue the dramatic music. Ready, here it is.
Walled off from their dreams.
Go, dramatic music.
We need to turn this around. We need to redefine what it means to be free in the 21st century.
That would be listed in a production library under uplifting. Uplifting violins.
No, that's not. Here it is. This is
That's
the one.
it. Look, it's forward thinking.
We need to redefine what is free.
Mm-hmm.
We need to redefine what is free? Okay.
To make sure we all have the same chance to earn our fair share of America's prosperity. We need a new set of 5 rights, 5 essential protections that can never be taken away by any politician. First, the right to an equal vote in our government. Second,
we don't have an equal vote in our government?
Yeah, how do we know?
There are all kinds of laws protecting that.
Yes.
Okay.
the right to clean air and clean water.
There's the Clean Air and Clean Water Act.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's...
Where do they not have clean water right now?
Exactly. You already have those. Already got them, Tom.
Except Detroit.
Third, the right to a free, quality public education.
Got that too.
Already have that.
Yes.
In fact, even illegals in America cannot be denied public schooling. It's a Supreme Court ruling from back in the day.
There you have
Absolutely already there. So those are... Wow, Tom, you've already accomplished quite a bit here.
Fourth, the right to earn a living wage.
There it is.
Okay.
You should not be denied. If someone wants to pay you a living wage, Brad, you should not be denied. There needs to be a law.
I don't think I've been denied. There is
the last time you wanted to earn that living wage, somebody stepped in and said, whoa.
Can't do that. No.
That right already exists.
So no one needs to work more than one full-time job. And fifth, the right to universal health care.
You have that right as well. You have to pay for it.
Yes.
See, what Tom is saying is those aren't rights. Those rights already exist. That's the beauty of the Constitution. You can do and take part in those. He's saying the government must force those things even on people who do not want them. And he's doing it with his billions of dollars of influence.
A mojo for every state. MoJo 50.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
As the Democrats take control of the House of Representatives, their agenda has begun to be laid out for the American people. As with all of their proposals, there's a critical question. How does one pay for it all? The common refrain from the Democrats is with tax increases. Duh. So let's explore what the actual numbers tell us about taxes, debt, and the reality of these new programs. First, let's know this number, 40 trillion, which is the estimate for just 1 decade of the proposals from some of the Democrats. That may seem like a lot of money, and you would be right because of this number, 3.3 trillion, which is the amount of total taxes collected by the government in 2018, same as 2017. Doing simple math, that's 33.3 trillion in 10 years. And last I checked, 33.3, carry the 1. Oh, it's less than 40. So that doesn't make sense. But the Dems will tell you it's all about raising the marginal tax rate. So let's explore increasing that marginal tax rate. Hell, let's go right to the height of taxes at 94% way back in 1944. Guess what the real tax rate for top earners came out to? Try 40%. So once again, there goes that narrative. Let's move on and try the Dems' favorite piñata, the top 1%. Right now, the top 1% pays 40% of income taxes in America. Add up all of their income, tax it at 100%, and you still don't collect enough money to fund even 1 year of the government's budget, let alone the added spending of these proposals. Perhaps the real problem is this. Despite record incoming tax monies, our government's budget is nearing the same level we had during World War II, and we still haven't found a way to pay for what we currently spend. Then again, if you believe racking up more debt for future generations to pay is morally right, this might not be a problem. This has been By the Numbers. I'm Andrew Coppins. You can follow me on Twitter at The Coppins Show.
Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs on your Daily Mojo. Conservative Cartel with Matt Block and Ron Phillips coming up in less than 1/2 hour from right now on this broadcast platform.
Salting Duck says if something depends on the forced labor of others, it is not a right, Tom.
And there it is.
And that is what you have.
This is the equivalent of Barack Hussein Obama back in the day, arguing for a constitution that wasn't a constitution of negative liberties.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
Negative liberties. Negative. Do you realize that that doesn't make sense? Negative liberties, that doesn't exist. You don't have negative liberties. Those are opposites.
Yes. That would be, yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It's government intelligence.
Right. What he's suggesting is remember Obama said, the Constitution says what the government cannot do to you, but it doesn't say what it must do on your behalf, which is not 100% accurate, but that is the point of the Constitution.
Yes.
That's the entire thing. It shows a fundamental misunderstanding. You do not want a Constitution that says what a government must do on your behalf. And here's why. There's one overwhelmingly simple concept. Rights granted by government can and will eventually be taken away by government.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, we always look at that statement from from a different perspective. When you hear that statement usually said, our constitutionally protected rights are not given or granted by the government. They are protected by the government. It's a government that's supposed to protect those rights.
Yes.
The reason, and we say they are granted by God, they are. That's what God wants of us.
Yes.
Sorry, I threw some stuff away. But look at it from the other way. To say that you must have the government do things on your behalf, governments change all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not just in stable times like the peaceful transition of power from president to president. It is quite possible that someday we may truly have a tyrant in the White House.
Yeah.
That conspires with a tyrannical Congress, that becomes a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, that can actually happen. Here's how I know. Because it has happened throughout history. And for you people on the left that believe Trump is a tyrant.
The irony of that being the fact you couldn't say he was a tyrant if in fact he was a tyrant.
And if he is a tyrant, why would you want a constitution that can be taken away by that tyrant?
They don't sit down and think.
Right, they're pushing that. You must have things the government must do on your behalf and so on and so forth. Great. Now you got a guy in that you believe is a tyrant. And you want to give him that power? The ability to do that? Did you like it when he took away, quote unquote, took away Obamacare? That was given to you by government. That wasn't given to you by God.
Right.
And now it's been dismantled.
Mm-hmm.
Feels good, don't it? Do you want to play that yo-yo game back and forth? How about we all understand the very basic concept of do what you want to do, so long as you're not stopping somebody else from doing what they want to do. There are some areas where that gets a little tricky, gray areas. For example,
that one position in the Kama Sutra
wasn't what I was thinking, but okay. You play very loud music at your house, blaring loud music because you want to do that.
Right.
I don't want to hear that loud music.
Right. Right. And if you're a neighbor, you end up hearing it.
You see, right.
But that's where personal responsibility and common courtesy comes in.
Right, and it does. So, like I said, there are some trickier parts, but that's the high level nature of our style of government.
How about just don't be a dick?
That's a part of it. Rule number 5 or rule number 1. You got 5 rules that I have laid out over the years. If you're new to the program, I'll lay them out for you now. Rule number 1: don't be a dick. Don't be an ass. You can plug in whatever. You just don't be a problem. What are you doing? Defend your rights. Be passionate about these things. Speechify, work, do whatever you have to. But you don't have to be a dick about it. Right. Hopefully, and I'm being serious here, as we laid out this platform, and I even put together a MoJo Festo recently.
Yes, you did. It was quite good.
That included some of these concepts because I want it's 10-page. I'll probably add to it at some point. I should put some of that out there for the audience. What do you think? Would that be worth it?
Yeah.
That talks about some of these concepts and what we're doing with this platform is also to do a little bit of good in the world based on the things we believe.
Right.
We don't want this to be mean. We're not trying to be dicks here. We'll be edgy. We'll push it. We'll call people things. It's based on what we believe, and we'll mock and we'll have fun. But it shouldn't be mean. It shouldn't be. When you listen to most commentary, political news, whatever now, it's just mean. It's not divisive. We can be divisive. We can be divided on things, sure. But you're just being mean. It's the difference between, you ever have the somebody tell a racist joke or a joke that a lot of people would do racist, and it's funny and you laugh. And then you have the stereotypical guy, the stump jumper that just goes, blah. And you're like, yeah, that's not funny. That's just you being a dick.
Yeah.
You're just being a racist.
It's a lot like porn. You can't describe it, but you can tell it. You can know it when you see it.
So hopefully you're having fun with us, and hopefully our self-defecating nature will also show you that we're what?
We're fun.
We're fun.
Yeah. We are.
I thought you were going to call me out on self-defecating.
Oh, sorry. I was actually listening to something more interesting.
I thought you were. Yeah. That you'll realize, we mock the people. We mock ourselves. We get things wrong. We're transparent as much as we can be with tweets we see when people call us out. So don't be a dick. Rule number 1.
Right.
Rule number 2, keep the talent happy.
That's always good advice.
That was incredibly self-serving when I initially put that one in, but it can be expanded.
Well, you've got the hard job.
I mean, talent is a broad term. For those of you gentlemen that are married or have a serious partner, keep the talent happy. Who's the talent? The wife.
Yeah, she is.
So you can expand that, but I meant it self-serving.
Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Right. Rule number 3, always come clean. Do not bell that. It's not meant that way.
I didn't. Did you see my hand even move?
I saw it flinch. Always, if you're goofing, this came about because I would always be accused of practical jokes and doing things that I didn't do. And I was like, it's not me. And I realized people didn't believe me because quite often it was me. I'm happy to be called in the carpet. You can bell that. For things I do.
Yes.
Now, I don't want to I'd get incensed. How dare you say I'd do that? I did all those other dickish things you just mentioned.
But not that one.
So I finally realized I got to start telling people when I do.
Yes.
If I pull a practical joke, I admit it, whatever, and that way it gave me a pass. And people that know me then could say, all right, Doc comes clean. He tells me if it's him or whatever. And I'm like, you know me. That one isn't me. Rule number 4. It's not offensive if it's true.
Yep.
Rule 4A is it's not racist if it's true, but they kind of go together.
Right.
It's not. How can it be offensive? How can you be offended if it's true?
That's
How dare you say I'm fat?
Right.
Are you fat? Yeah. Why are you offended that I said it?
It's
Why?
Yeah.
It's not offensive if it's true. It's You know what that's called? A fact. You may not like the fact that fact exists, or exists and it's true.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you coming down on me for? Don't shoot the messenger in this thing.
I want to deserve it.
And rule number 5, one of the most powerful rules to live by. And some of the younger generation do not understand. Rule number 5, just because you can does not mean you should.
Nope. I wish my ex-wife knew that.
I wish I had known that.
Yeah. A lot of times you learn, that's one of those you learn with age or being smart enough to listen to older people.
Quite often I'll use the term bear trap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a bear trap. I'm about to step in it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. What's that?
The Ocasio-Cortez dance.
Right. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. I still fail that one. I learn that one each and every day.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like chocolate. The bear traps are lined with chocolate.
Right. No one wants to step in a bear trap. There's usually something attractive.
Yes.
Either it's you didn't see it.
Right.
Or that looks like a bear trap, but look, there's cheese in it. There's chocolate. There's
why
a
they put
fish. There's
cheese
a
in
beer.
a mouse trap.
Right?
Yeah. Otherwise, it looks like a trap, and you don't want to jump in it.
The 5 rules plus addendum.
What's the addendum?
4A.
Oh yeah. We do need to put that on a shirt.
We should do the rules.
Ronnie of Colon Blow says, still looking for the T-shirt to buy with 5 rules on it.
I'll do those out.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you ever have a suggested rule, Rule 5 was suggested by the jackholes back in the day. They suggested Rule 5, and we sent it to the executive committee. And it went through the long, tedious approval process, and the executive committee of 1 eventually added it to the list. And it's absolutely right.
Executive committee of 1.
Executive committee.
Was it a unanimous decision?
Yes. We were concerned how the votes would come down.
Right.
But in the end, yes, a unanimous, and it got passed.
Well, that's good. Yeah. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. One of those meetings.
And then it had to go through ratification of 3/4 of all members of 1.
Right. So
it's a whole long, lengthy process. But it can be done, kids. It can be done.
B from the SAV brought up a good point. If a neighbor blares loud music, take the Joe Biden approach. Grab a double-barrel shotgun.
And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, you just shoot it out there indiscriminately.
Yeah. Oh, yes. You just blast it. Yeah. Of course, you're going to be the one who has to clean up the mess, but whatever. Whatever. Yeah, it's we've already covered that one. And POTUS Toad Sage, capitalism may tolerate greed, but communism endorses and pushes envy, by the way.
It does. I hate this narrative that capitalism, and people just keep pushing this, capitalism is greed. First of all, I would refer you to Gordon Gekko.
Greed is good.
Right.
If you didn't, greed is it another word for
desire,
envy, or
want,
push? I mean, you have personal goals. What's the word I'm looking for?
Well, aspirations. What?
Yeah, another word. Damn, I
desire.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, no. Think about that. Where does greed start and end versus aspirations, goals, wants, needs? What when you're stockpiling things? What about rainy day?
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those are such greed. Greed has gotten this bad rap. Now you could take it to the extreme, and maybe it's like porn. You know it when you see it, and you're like, okay, now you've gone too far. But I ask you, isn't that like beauty in the eye of the beholder?
Yeah. And the people say, well, you don't need that many guns. What if when there is a revolution, I want to give the guns to the people who don't have guns to help me fight the government?
Right.
I've
said before, if you said, Doc, we can give you $1 billion, we can give you $100 million, we can give you whatever. It would be nice to have $100 million or $1 billion, but honestly, if I had $10 million in investments where I can live off of that, I am going to be thrilled.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
The only reason I would want more, well, there's 2 reasons. To be able to do more, help more people. So let's say you throw that out, okay? People are taken care of. But then because I cannot trust these a-holes, the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes, that they won't pass a confiscation of wealth.
Right.
That they're not going to be using their leftist money like Tom Steyer out there to take other people's and pass a bunch of crap. I've got to stockpile as much as I can.
That's what he did.
Right.
That's what he did so that he doesn't have to worry about it, so he can confiscate the other. And by the way, it's ambition I was looking for.
Okay. So, I mean, it's not in my nature to say, I just want billions and billions. I want a good life, don't get me wrong. But I have to because of their crap.
Yeah, it's defensive.
Right. I'm trying to stave off future troubles. So, and by the way, even if you are somebody that just wants billions, good for you.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Yep. And again, that is the basis of why people want to come to this country, the opportunity to pursue their dream. If their dream is making $1 bazillion, good for them. As long as you're not dicking with me, go for it.
I didn't have a chance to ask Chef Patrick yesterday to make the sweet blueberry wild rice pan bread.
Oh.
You got to get this made. You got to try this. Do you want to smell it?
Not relief factor.
You want to smell it?
I do.
How about the blueberry rice?
If you...
Do you want to smell it?
Yeah. See,
Turn the cameras off.
I'm not falling into that trap.
Smell the blueberry goodness, and you can smell that rice.
It does smell good.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you smell that little that rice? That's the basic wild rice flavor, too. It's awesome.
Yes, it is really good.
It's Ministalgia at MoJoWildRice.com. Sure, you can go to Ministalgia.com. They'll both take you to the same place, but good luck trying to spell it. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com. It starts with that only native grain in North America, the wild rice, that is so healthy for you, but it also tastes good. And you can use it in many different applications. You can use it as a savory food. You can use it as a sweet food. Like, did you have the sweet version when Patrick made the bowls, the rice bowls?
Yep, I had the sweet and the savory. I had both. And I could taste the zinc, protein, phosphorus, and trace minerals in it.
You know, the good news is you can't actually taste those. No, you just taste the ricey goodness.
Just know you're doing something good for you.
I mean, I was talking with a gentleman. We've got a new client that's going to start in the next couple of weeks. That this is going to be so good for so many people, and it's more of a health thing. But he was telling me about some of the battles people have with gluten. And what is it, celiac disease? Which they really need a more negative sounding name.
It's not very silly.
It's goofiest degree disease.
You got the celiac. It doesn't really fit.
It's funny time disease.
Yeah.
What?
No. Clown nose disease.
Right. No.
It really is not.
So the people that have it often will travel out of the country and try things with gluten in it, and they have no problem.
Isn't that weird?
Because of the way we process this stuff. We basically spray Roundup on wheat and stuff like that to process it.
Yeah, although Roundup, they swear. I mean, I watched Stu drink a cup of that one time, although I'm not sure I want to drink it.
Well,
myself.
And maybe it's quote unquote healthy for you.
Maybe, who knows?
But
I mean, we spray a lot, and we do a lot of things to plants.
Well, that's just the point. It may be like you may not keel over when you drink it, but it may not be affecting and affect some people different ways.
If given the choice, with or without, I'm going to take the without. I'm going to take the natural.
I don't think I'm getting benefits from it, right, as far as that goes.
The organic, if I can get it.
He lays all this out, and I was like, that's what's wonderful. One of the wonderful things about Nostalgia Wild Rice at MoJoWildRice.com. You don't have to worry. It's gluten-free. Yeah. It's cholesterol-free. Right. It's almost a complete protein. It's very healthy, and you'll love all the products you can make from it. The soups, the pan breads. Go to MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com. That's MoJo WildRice.com.
Whoa, Kevin over on Facebook just said, surprise, surprise, Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world, divorcing his wife of 25 years.
Is that new info?
I don't know. I just, wow. To be her.
I was trying to say, won't that make her the richest woman in the world?
Yeah. She's about to be the richest woman in the world, I think.
Together, they were the richest couple in the world.
Wow.
Ron Phillips, I believe, is a divorced man.
You know, You know why divorces are so expensive?
Why is that?
They're worth it.
Ron is a divorced man. Let's say you had that kind of money.
Let's say I do.
And you're trying to get a divorce. How do you navigate those waters to keep as much money as possible?
Well, it depends on where he lives.
If
he lives in California,
right,
there's no waters to navigate. It's pretty much spelled out.
Oh, my.
So first you say, honey, we really need to move to what state is going to be divorce friendly? New Hampshire?
No. I don't know that there is one.
I don't know that there is one.
Or more divorce friendly.
More divorce friendly? I don't know.
Well, no fault
the state
divorce.
of Texas,
it ain't California. My buddy who got divorced had to. They estimated what he would make over the next 20 years or something, and he had to give half of that amount, this fictional amount, to her.
So
because she was with him while he was earning, building up to earn that kind of money.
Stunning.
So you do this, you go, honey, you know what? Maybe it's time we just move to Iowa. North Dakota seems. No, I've always been a fan. So that's your first move, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be a no alimony state. That's the big thing. And God help you if you have kids.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're below the age of 18.
I know you don't want to move to Indiana, certainly not Fort Wayne.
Yeah, exactly.
How about Alaska? Just move to Alaska with them. That's got to be.
So you do that.
Yeah.
You plan that. You got to live there a while so they can't say we just moved 2 weeks ago, just in case there's limitations on that. So you got to live there a while and get that done. And then you got to try to hide somewhere, right?
I started to say, if I was Bezos, I'd have a Swiss bank account somewhere.
Right.
I'm not even sure you can hide those anymore.
You probably can't.
They've gotten.
Oh, trust me, those people have a place you can hide.
Remember, the best day to start saving for a divorce is the day you get married. Boy, am I a cynic or what?
Where is that?
I am not much.
I bet he's got a friend with a backyard and a backhoe.
Well, I was going to say,
I think it was hoes that got him in trouble in the first place. Yeah.
I mean, unless you have got to move to that state and come up with a plan, because you're right. The only other plan is, honey, let's go hiking. A place with a lot of sheer cliffs.
See, honey, look at that star up there. Can you see that? No, take a couple more.
Oh, it's been done.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. And it's cheaper than divorce.
Oh, that seems. I would say this if your spouse is like, let's move to an alimony-friendly state. Alimony-free state.
Well, you don't say that. You say, let's go to a state with a great view of the stars at night, of like Wyoming. Let's go out and let's move to Wyoming.
See, Bezos, he could say, honey, I need to start this second headquarters.
Mm-hmm. Anywhere else.
So we need to be there for a while we get this up and running.
Well, people that's the beauty of people like him is I'm sure there was a prenup.
Maybe not, though. We don't know when he got married.
All right. And even if he gave away, so he's left with 75. Although I don't care how much money you got, if you got to write a check to somebody else, especially if you ended up hating that person, that sucks butt. Oh, just writing a check every month. I mean, not that I would know.
Do you try to make her the some sort of offer? Is there a deal hoping?
If they're reasonable, but I mean, if this is a contentious divorce, that's.
I would try the, honey, all right, we're going to get a divorce. Let's just split it 50-50.
You can try that, but I mean, once you lawyer up, forget it. The lawyers are going to, the lawyers do what the government does to the people. They divide and conquer.
When I got divorced, we divided everything up right off. This is amazing when I look back, because your head's all screwed up. You're going through this emotional time. You can't think straight. I left by mutual agreement, and all of the stuff in the house, minus my personal effects, memories and whatever, clothes. I took the computer printer, and that was it. Because I didn't want to buy one, and it was already synced up to mine, and I needed it for some business I was doing. I think that was all I took. And I said, take the rest of it, it's yours. The bank account, we split 50-50. We had a little bit of savings. It was probably $18,000 or something like that. I ended up with $9,000, and that was it. It's all and my car that was paid off, she kept hers. So she got a little more than 50-50, and we just walked away. I started paying her before they even said that, child support, like right off. Right. It was a modest amount, but it was, I don't know, $400 or $500 a month or whatever. And then it still took me a year and a half to get a divorce.
And
I look back and go, why?
Oh, the lawyers.
Lawyers.
Yeah. The way I discovered I was getting divorced one time, I came home and everything I owned was in the driveway and had been driven over by the car, including all of my clothes. I should have kept it.
You're a good divorcer.
Before you left.
You work with him every day. I want to run over him and his stuff every day.
I should have kept the T-shirt that had the tire track going up the back of it. I should have kept that.
Funny.
Oh.
You know what helps you, though, as you're going through this with all the pain and stress is Relief Factor.
I was going to say a gun.
The pain of the life problems and the pressures, whatever, ReliefFactor.com can help with a whole lot of that, especially if it's long-lasting pain.
Yeah, if you've got the pain that comes from You know what? It's not going to help divorce pain, but it will help you with pain that comes from getting the old, from everyday living, from maybe exercising a bit too much.
And it's not a medication.
No. It's
about
botanicals. It's omega-3s. It's like the MoJo Wild Rice of pain relief. Think of it that way. It's
and it's quality.
I don't think you can say it's organic, but so if they get in trouble for that, that was me saying it. That's nice. But if you go to relieffactor.com, if you are dealing with pain, long-term chronic pain, order the 3-week quick start pack for $20 and see if it works for you. And if it does, you can order more, like 7 out of 10 people do. If you don't, if you don't think it works for you, then I suggest you don't order any more, and then you're $20 down. But hey, that's just me. I've been taking it for years. Relief Factor. Did I miss something? ReliefFactor.com. ReliefFactor.com.
All right, let's wrap this show up today.
What do you mean it's let's go?
All righty, that is it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of your Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out. We learned today. We learned what is at the center of the Fatberg in the London sewer.
And it is?
Chicago gutter water.
Ah, shut up.
And Michael Moore. We learned airports are far more secure today because there are far fewer TSA agents.
Blurred out.
We learned foods that shouldn't be served at naked restaurants include soup, spaghetti, and fajitas. Ow!
Or bacon.
Ow! 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 Or maybe they should be.
Yeah.
Oh. We learned Tom Steyer is campaigning to pass 5 rights that we already have.
Yeah.
Good job, Tom.
Yes.
Bradley J. Staggs, what, if anything, did you learn today?
I learned the massive government shutdown has led to a massive outbreak of misinformation and lies from CNN.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And they're
yes,
good at
you got it. Yep.
I learned Ron Phillips and Chuck Schumer might have some common ancestry, as well as Donald Trump.
We found the wonky gene goes all the way back.
All the way back. I learned that when someone asks for pictures of your meat on a dating app, they're not talking about venison.
No, that's right.
It's likely the beaver castor sacks, most
Could
likely. I learned the great thing about the asparagus fortune teller, she just needs the tips.
I know what you did there. And I put my bell away already.
See, I didn't. And finally, I learned you should never order the sausage balls at the Naked Paris restaurant. Or maybe you should.
They're made with real sausage.
That's true.
What, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
Oh, a smattering of what they learned over in the MeWe chat room. Silly No One learned you guys are so seriously funny. I never hear people talk like this. It's really funny when I understand what you're saying.
It's a lot of hidden meaning.
It really is. Melissa Jackhole learned the only thing better than Michael Pelka's 2-minute drill is getting a 2-minute hammer from Brad Staggs. Hey, thank you. And Mojo Mofo.
And let me just please, by the way, it's not a 2-minute hammer.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with the extra minute and a half.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mojo Mofo learned Operation Muffin Butter. I just wanted to repeat that one.
That's a whole different operation.
Yeah, really.
It's still in play, but it's a whole different thing.
Over on the Facebook, Kevin learned wives are much better investigators than the FBI. My wife put together a complete Russian dossier on me, and it didn't cost $1 million.
You left out if it included golden showers, though.
Those records are sealed, quite frankly.
They call her Cambridge Analytica.
Larky Farkin learned.
See, it's like Cambridge.
Yeah, I see, but it's
bitch.
Right.
Because the bitch came,
right,
and it was an X.
Yes. The only person that doesn't think it's funny is him. No, you're not. Larky Farkin.
And Fox is happy about it.
Because Fox had a choice. Larky Farkin learned, pretty sure if you wade into the Mojo 50 River, you can get your own spotted dick.
It may be. There's so much good in and along and on the Mojo River.
Really, even in the wintertime, it's amazing.
I just like to see all the kids ice skating on it.
It is
the lights that are shining.
Wildlife, yeah,
it's just spectacular.
In the moonlight, it is incredible. POTUS Toad Sage learned we use a toilet duct cleaning for toilets. How about cleaning the Fatbergs with a sewer turtle? Mitch, why would you want to put Mitch McConnell?
I feel like there's a whole lot of euphemisms there.
I think there is. You probably do.
Ma'am, I'm here with my sewer turtle.
You do a whole.
Let's get it going.
Whole college course on that. Jackhole Angry Beaver, when talking on a dating app, don't be so open-minded and share your illegal activities. Keep those for when you get married.
Ryan, do we have any AA batteries?
Yes, sir.
I need some. I'm tired of cannibalizing yours off of your mice.
Did your little toy?
Did I say that out loud?
Did your little
Are
toy?
Are you kidding me right now?
What? I may have just said that out loud. I don't know what you're saying. Mine isn't working.
Wow.
You know what? Let me just wrap this up and say I didn't get to the numbers on procrastination. We'll do those Monday. No, not Monday. What's today?
Tomorrow's
Wednesday?
Thursday. So today
next
is
Thursday.
Hump Day.
So we'll get to him next Thursday.
Tomorrow, okay.
We'll get to him next Thursday.
You say so.
What does Matt Locke have coming up?
He
cares?
he
Cares.
told me,
No
and I
one's gonna be
really
listening
can't
anyways.
remember.
No, it's
So
whatever.
it
All right.
doesn't really matter.
Remember, your Daily Mojo is today a Ron Phillips production. Sic Semper Tyrannis. Good night, Steve Cannon. Wherever you are. Anya, now you go home.
Very good.
See, it won't stay on. My mouse is...
You have a limp mouse.
Yeah, oh well.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun,